Good evening, everyone! Welcome to Swim or Sink 111. It is I, Mad Gamer II. I am joined by the lovely Keone.
Hello, hello.
We have our first matchup for the night, Marine Melody versus Frostbite. What do you think of these two teams?
We've seen these two teams every time in Swimmer Sink. I like to see Frostbite and Marine Melody, especially with the fact that this is, I believe, the first Swimmer Sink since the new Sizzle season patch comes on. I'm ready to see how these two teams, what they want to cook up in this playoff reset we got coming up. But otherwise, your usual suspects. Always excited to see these two teams play.
Oh yes, absolutely. And as you said, it is a new season. I know a lot of teams are doing a little bit of experimentation. I know some of the earlier tournaments, it's like everyone's not quite ready to dip their toes in the water just yet, but we are a couple weeks in, and although it is the first SOS, we still have some brand new comps, brand new weapons in the works. So do you think we'll be seeing any of those tonight?
I will be certain that we might be seeing a few weapons from the new season. I have two that I have my crosshairs on, trying to see if they get picked up by any of the teams that we get to see on stream today. So I'd say count on it. Expect some new weapons from the new Sizzle season.
Heck yeah, I would love to see it. Which ones are you looking forward to?
So at least from my perspective, some of the picks I would love to see coming out. Anarchy Nova with the Inkmine and Inkjet, especially with especially with that Inkjet. Still, I think that would be I love to see somebody pick up that weapon. I think I think what teams might be dishing out here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Wiper Decos. I have my own personal opinions about it. Most of them mostly average, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Wiper Deco, and I wouldn't be surprised if people dish out the Paintbrush there too. And it looks like we are about to be queuing into Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard.
Yes, indeed. Now we're going to be seeing not too many new weapons for the first team there. Actually, no new weapons, but a lot of familiar ones.
Well, there are new weapons here, Imad. Light Tetras is in play for Frostbite. It's X-ray on those Light Tetras! So, for those tuning in, Light Tetras has the Zipcaster and the Sprinkler. So this is a very fascinating choice out of Frostbite. But otherwise, it is, as you mentioned, the usual weapons. And of course, the splashes will never leave.
Of course not. They got a nice little home here, and they would be apt not to be going out. But there's going to be the one splash off Marine Melody going down. And we already see the crab getting popped out, as well as the ink strike. It looks like Frostbite is trying to gain some ground, but Marine Melody doing a good job of just not giving up ground too easily.
Yeah, Marine Melody is definitely doing a good job holding their own. We do see a Zipcast, not from the Light Tetris, but from the Octobrush this time, and it looks like Marine Melody did take a little bit of a small lead there, only 94 points remaining. But yeah, nice hold. Nobody really taking full control of mid. The splash dropping on the side of Marine Melody right now. But Marine Melody's gonna pay no mind to the fact that the splash went down. They are pushing up for a little bit more points.
Oh, absolutely. And both of these teams are having a slow start here. You kind of need that for this map. You saw the crap up on the snipe, and that's one of the key aspects. You got to take over one of the key positions you want to take control of, and already we see the heavy and whatnot up there, but as we've seen here, the ink strike coming out to dislodge them, and they are so close to getting that first checkpoint. We did see the pick off the Tetras earlier.
As you highlighted, a very, very slow start right now. Really, both these teams just trying to get a good feel for each other, farming up special, then try to look for any advantages that they have. But both teams are kind of just playing very safe, very passive, I might say, as we do lose one of the splashes there. The Crab Tank taking him out from Koreki on Marine Melody's side, and actually two members already going down, so this might be Marine Melody's go button to try to get this tower chugging along. But as we mentioned before, it's such a slow start really for both these teams. Both teams really not wanting to be aggressive with the tower just yet.
Oh, but we see Koreki trying to poke their way, shark their way up to that snipe, but the Tetras suss them out, and that's going to be the T-Tech going down as well. But unfortunately, it does end up in a trade 2-2 right now. And it's just, again, both teams are playing such good defense right now. It's like neither team has a really good opportunity to push back, and right now, Frostbite has the slight pan advantage, but that's about it.
Yeah, but that advantage was just enough because as you mentioned before, Marine Melody now losing two. And now Marine Melody is nowhere in position really to contest with this first checkpoint. So this Frostbite will get that first checkpoint right away. Zipcaster being thrown out there as well from X-Ray, and it looks like X-Ray was just there to play the turret. Trade of one member on both sides. Both teams losing two, with X-Ray at least getting a pick right there. The triple ink strike out there as well, but no one on the tower because the Octobrush flanked the member on that tower. And now that tower is slightly resetting back to mid, but at least Frostbite, they broke through the first checkpoint.
Yes, indeed. They broke through the first checkpoint, and we're already halfway through the match, and that's the only thing that's been broken so far. So, Frostbite, they're slowly getting the upper hand, and it might be just the amount of points they need to hold on to this victory, but we'll have to see if Marine Melody is able to break out of this lock right now. Once again, Frostbite pushing that objective, going past their lead, and with the crab on snipe, that's really going to keep Marine Melody away from that tower.
Yeah, with the crab locating themselves on site, immediately picking up the Octobrush, their Frostbite is able to keep pushing their advantages, but they got picked off as well. They lose 3, which is only going to stop this push, turning this into a delayed wipe for Marine Melody. So Marine Melody, now it's their time to just put paint down, try to build up the specials, of course, and get any control mid that they desperately can. That is exactly what they're doing right now, actually. So now they're going to hope to try to convert this into a push of their own, IMAD. And so far, though, nice hold for Marine Melody. Let's see if they can convert this, despite losing the splash.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the first, almost complete wipeout we've had so far, and then I say that right as Frostbite comes
Yep.
back with a vengeance, taking down 3 members of Marine Melody, and they are right back where they started.
Yeah, Marine Melody, they definitely had the right idea, trying to get control of mid, trying to push further up ahead, but Frostbite said no. They said no, and they pretty much shut down any of that push, and now 45 seconds left to go, IMAD, and it looks like Frostbite, they're just trying to move this tower into Marine Melody's position right now. We do see Koreki using that crab tank, but the crab tank goes down on the hands of the splash, now Reborn with that crab tank of their own, now dropping inside their territory here. The rest of Marine Melody is going to have to try to contest to it. But while all that was happening, though, the tower resets back to mid, and with Marine Melody taking some control of it.
Yeah, there's still a lot of purple on this map right now, and we do see the crab online for Frostbite, and really, with 17 seconds left, that's all they need, and it's going to get popped on that tower, pushing it into Marine Melody's territory. And look at that, so much map control by Frostbite. They have such a good hold of mid. There's not a whole lot Marine Melody can do unless they make a Hail Mary play right here, but it's not going to be enough with the Ink Strike coming out.
No, yeah, that triple Ink Strike well placed there by Frostbite, and as you mentioned, Frostbite had full control of that mid area. Marine Melody just didn't have any movement to go up front, and that first map went the way of Frostbite, and really what broke that push open there for Frostbite was just that 2 down on the side of Marine Melody, and with Marine Melody really in no position to contest. It was just the first checkpoint, and that's really all the offense that we saw here in Sturgeon Tower. But hey, it ends with a Frostbite victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we were saying before, the defense for both the teams was so good for the first half of that match, but they were slowly chipping away at it, and with Frostbite slowly chipping away a little more, so they were able to get the first checkpoint going. And then once they had the splats, as you said, that they needed, it was just all the way to the victory right there.
Yeah, as you mentioned, both these teams really did play super slow, very passively. I think they were just trying to find any advantages that they can, whether it would be a 2-3 or full wipeout scenario for both these teams. They were just playing very patiently, wanting to make sure they make the right calculated moves, and the calculated move pretty much ended with that 2 down, which led to that first checkpoint, as we alluded to earlier there. So if any of those fights go disastrously wrong in any other direction, we could have seen a slightly different result, but that's how that first map goes.
For sure. And, going on to Rainmaker and Manta Maria, we could be seeing some of a similar thing. Both of the pedestals are in a very choke-heavy area. For either of these teams to really make a push forward, they're going to have to take control of some of the key areas. In this case, it's going to be the bunker and that area above the street. And in the other side of this is someone has to pick up the Rainmaker, and if the Rainmaker is stopped, that's going to be one of your members down, and thus automatically giving an advantage to the other team. So the turnarounds for this particular mode will be a lot quicker, I would say, than tower control.
Absolutely. I mean, with Rainmaker offense is going to be insanely key, and as you alluded to, if nobody really picks up that Rainmaker, pretty much that Rainmaker is just going to be stuck where it is, and this pretty much means that you're not going to get an offensive push either way. And good thing to note too, with where the checkpoints are located in very choke heavy spots, both these teams they'll need to find a way to assert full painting control, and definitely finding any picks that they can to the other team, just so they can get that break through that first checkpoint, because that can be we could be seeing a lot of brawls leading up to that first checkpoint for either of these teams.
And once they do get that first checkpoint, that's just going to open the gate for the amount of points they're able to get afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. As we're about to see things queued in now. This is here we go. IMAD. Speaking of more weapons coming out of the Sizzle season, Koreki's dishing out the Sorella Umbrella.
That's going to be the Sorella Tent Umbrella, and running alongside the Vanilla Splatter Shot at that, so that's going to be double Ink Zuka there, and it's going to be double shot at that, so they're still keeping the Ink Strike, but no crabs this time around versus Frostbite double crab.
Yeah, Frostbite continues with the double crab, but they switch over from light Tetras to your usual dark Tetras, and now the Carbon Roller Deco, so we're going to be seeing a lot of Trizuka specials probably on the hands of both these teams. 3 members down, by the way, on Marine Melody side. They turned this into a full delayed wipe, which means Safra taking a bit of time to slam through the first checkpoint. That was a very quick push from Frostbite, and as you mentioned, as you mentioned there, they needed to win either of these fights and turn it into a full advantage, and Frostbite will take any edge that they can, and so far Marine Melody's just being caught off guard. They're pretty much still stuck in base, trying to find all the picks they can on the Frostbite. They at least stopped them, but what an insane push from Frostbite, Imad.
And they still have a lot of map control of that. We see the Splash just keeping control of their bunker, and that's going to be allowing the jumps to come in with 2 members down. X right here are going to be picking it up and try to get a few more points out of it, but Marine Melody, they still got to kick Frostbite out of their street right now, and with that Carbon Checker right there, it's not going to be an easy feat.
Yeah, that Carbon Roller is going to try to shark their way through, trying to find any picks that they can, and so far, Marine Melody, they're losing into a delayed triple. They just need to put Ink down. Frostbite takes the goal, and that is a second map to Frostbite, Imad. We didn't really take much time to really cover everything because the pushes just happened so fast out of Frostbite. Again, the delayed wipe pretty much kickstarted everything, and once they got that delayed wipe, Frostbite just took total control the rest of the way.
They did indeed. The Tentabrella was a nice idea, but in the face of the Carbon Tetra combo that they pulled instead of that Charger, there's just a lot of aggression coming out of Frostbite, and we saw the Tetras opening up that pass to the street with the Reslider, which is on that vanilla kit. They were able to take so much ground in that opening push, and it's just the double crab just completely suppressed that opening bit.
I really like what Frostbite dished out in that last map too. You alluded to it too. They're gonna just play so in your face, very aggressive the entire way. They kept that double splash, but instead of that Z+F splash scope and the light Tetras, they just went in your face, dark Tetras, Carbon Roller, and then basically Marine Melody was just completely getting aggressed on the entire way through. And it just pretty much opened the door for Frostbite to just say, "Hey, we're just going to take this Rainmaker. We're going to get through that first checkpoint, and we'll take even more from you." And then Frostbite just turned that into an insanely quick victory.
And that's what you love to see for Rainmaker. And I'd say going into Clan Blitz, it's also the same mentality. Marine Melody is going to have to think of some way to combat that, because absolutely, Frostbite's going to be bringing the same game plan for this next one.
Hey, if it worked well for Frostbite, especially with the double splash, why make too many changes? Just tweak the comp a little bit and make sure that it works for Inkblock Clan Blitz. And with Inkblock Clan Blitz the way it is too, with that ramp allowing for quick pushes, and then of course you having to take full control of that mid area in Art Academy. Maybe that's the name of the game. Maybe Frostbite wants to stick with that. And for Marine Melody, excuse me. As you alluded to, the Sorella Tentabrella was a nice idea. It just didn't go into full fruition. So, Marine Melody now realizing it, they may have to cook up something different now for this particular map combination.
I'd say also Frostbite has been they've been enjoying the double splash, and I think having that double splash on the stacks of Inkblot, Marine Melody once again is going to have to find some way to combat that.
Absolutely, those double splashes have been a bit of a problem, and well, they're not really going to try to combat it. They're going to keep things the same, but hey, there's a full change from Frostbite back to the light Tetras there for X-Ray. But look at this, Neo Splash and X-Blow coming out of Frostbite. What are your thoughts on this one, Imad?
Well, I guess I was not expecting it, but Inkblot is such a small map. Having a backline, especially one that's with the reach of that Explosher, not a bad pick. But it does look like Marine Melody is the ones to be the first aggressors this time around. There's already the splash taken down, and though they have a crab online, there's just already so much purple paint on this map right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Marine Melody is just trying to make sure that Frostbite has no chances to work with here. Right now, 2 members already down, and it's actually going to be one of the couple Marine Melody members actually dropping like that. Koreki trying to defend the rest of Marine Melody, trying to assert with that Sorella Tentabrella any control that they have, but going down to the Expo from Sungura there. So Marine Melody tried to start very fast, but kind of had to be stalled out a little bit. But they did spawn a power clan by the end of it, and Frostbite still having to work through that one clan they only have.
This is rather unfortunate, Marine Melody. Tentacle is such a good opening for Clam Blitz, except when you're facing a Slosher, and especially if that Slosher is an X-Blow. They don't care if you have a shield, they're just going to be lobbing that right over, and we saw that in that last opener, but already Koreki is trying to try again, but that's going to be a delayed wipe off of Marine Melody.
Yeah, we get to see Koreki trying to use that Tentacle to defend them, but as you mentioned already, the X-Blow will pay no attention to that huge shield that the Tentacle had, so pretty much when Koreki went down, the rest of Marine Melody is going down with them, and unfortunately for Marine Melody, it's a delayed triple, but where is that Power Clam? Two members with a ton of clams right now, they're just trying to throw them up, and I think, yeah, there is the passing game, and Saffron's able to cash in on a first push, taking it down to 80 points remaining. There is X-Ray with a few other clams on hand, and with X-Ray only there for probably a little bit, now having to escape. No more pushes from Frostbite from what it appears currently, as X-Ray is going to pick out Sean from Marine Melody there, and X-Ray can X-Ray find a little bit more? No, shut down, but down to 65 points remaining, I'm at for Frostbite, so not a bad push.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Frostbite had the aggression coming back around, but they also were patient about it. We saw them ways. They didn't have a Power Clam just yet, but they certainly had the clams to make one. They were waiting for that rain to get popped and just drive the brush away from the ramp there. But now they're going to have to be playing some defense. Marine Melody is back on the warpath, but they are going to be pincered out by the rain and the splash on that right side, which is going to kind of stagnate their push here.
Yeah, and once again, Frostbite, look at the painting that Frostbite has. It's just there's just so much control out of Frostbite that anytime Marine Melody is just trying to find an opening, trying to get that push right along, either up the ramp or on the side, it's just completely being taken over by so much of that Frostbite paint there. And so far, Frostbite and Saffron's able to sneak right in and actually able to cash in on this push there, but where is it? Where is the follow-up? The follow-up not quite there to be seen. X-Ray only on stuck in Zipcaster or with those light tetras, not really going to be able to cash in on anything, and it's just down to 62 points remaining, but more importantly, another power claim available for Marine Melody.
Yeah, once again, it's just the back and forth is real here. You know, every time Frostbite makes a push, Marine Melody is ready for the follow-up, but it just gets rebutted almost immediately. Like, we see they're trying to find some space here, but with two members down, they're going to be stuck in this corner here. And I think the Splatter Shot was able to retreat with their Power Clam, which is going to be helpful, and was going to this last minute. But, you know, just Frostbite has had the slight edge over them for every single play that they've made.
What doesn't really help Marine Melody currently with this composition is that Frostbite just has so much painting there too, that you have the light tetras and the double splashes. Even if it's not two crabs, it's still a ton of paint. And there's one Power Clam coming in. There's gonna be the second Power Clam there, and just look at the amount of ink really that Frostbite has. Yes, they went 3 down already. There's the escape from the X-Blow, but they put it down to 32 points remaining. Effectively, Marine Melody needs a really strong push to even have a chance at a comeback. It's with a monumental task from 100 points remaining to like 32.
Oh, once again, the Splash are getting taken down by the Tetras. The Tetras is going in, but does get shut down before they can really do some damage. But maybe it was just damage enough. The Ink Strikes do come out, but with two members down, Marine Melody is once again forced to back up before they can really gain too much ground here. You know, Frostbite, they have 20 seconds remaining. All they got to do is play that defense. They just got to keep them from really getting pushed in, and they seem to be doing that rather effectively.
Yeah, right. And right now, though, Frostbite, is really all that Frostbite really needs to do is just hold the line. They just got to play defensively and just trying to make sure that Marine Melody doesn't get an opening to work with. There's a nice flank there. Koreki not realizing the Reborn was right there. Reborn takes out the unsuspecting Koreki, and there is a trade there, but it's a delayed double. Turn that into a delayed triple there. Marine Melody's just trying to make a desperate move. I don't blame him in any scenario like that. And Koreki's able to pick him up, but going down near instantly, and Marine Melody is not going to have enough time left in overtime to make this push happen. Yeah, they're trying to make it work. Sean's just trying to brush their way in, but it's not enough. And Frostbite was a nice victory in Clam Blitz Inkblot.
Yes, indeed. Frostbite taking this to 3-0, and honestly, like, as the match progressed, we saw such dominant performance on the Rainmaker, and while in this last one, Marine Melody certainly fought back pretty hard. You know, Frostbite still had the upper hand for most of that, and they were able to come out on top in most of their engagements, and a lot of that was part of the, you know, just the aggressiveness of their comps, the Tetras and whatnot. But, you know, I think Marine Melody was starting to come unraveled a bit there. You know, the Tentacle was certainly a great idea, but doesn't really do a whole lot on their own in a 1v2 or 1v3.
what doesn't help there too is the Expo just will pay no attention to that shield, just gonna lob over it every time. So it was just pretty much neutralized any ideas that the 10th Umbrella could have had there too. And on top of it, Frostbite just had so much control painting wise around mid and close to Marine Melody's base. So it just didn't really allow Marine Melody to have much room to work with, and it showed time and time again in that third map. And yes, I will give credit to Marine Melody for sure, because they definitely had a lot. They were definitely able to fight back as much as they could in that Inkblot Art Academy map, but it just didn't work. It just didn't work out too well.
No, it did not. Once again, Frostbite taking the 3-0, and they will be moving on in the rest of these pools. But until then, we will be going to a short break.
Hey everybody, how's it going? We got round 2 of pools coming up here between Jelly Squids and Secret Elixir. I'm Kyun, joined by Imad still, and we saw from the last set we got new Sizzle season weapons already dished out here. Maybe we could be seeing some more here between these two teams.
Absolutely. I have recognized several of the names on these two teams, and so I have a bit of a foreshadow of what we're going to be seeing. But as you said, with the new season, that could totally be way off base here.
I mean, the new season, all the strategies that we knew, all the styles that we have seen from the past, almost could be thrown out the window. I do recognize a lot. I do recognize two of these teams here as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if things go a specific way. But hey, maybe we could be seeing a fun play all three between these two teams here, in Jelly Squids and Secret Elixir. But more importantly, we got our 3 maps ahead of us. It's Mako Mart Zones, Imad.
Oh my goodness, I've always been a big advocate of this map mode, but then I realized I couldn't play heavy on it, so no, less so.
Well, yeah. If there's a weapon that you that works best on that mode, and you're like, I'm not too good at this, I gotta stash it away. Sometimes we have a bit of sour feelings about it. I like Mako Mart in general. Zones especially is definitely not a bad mode for sure. You get the fun with Mako Mart, and then you also have the plus shaped zones there in the middle. So I'm gonna be really curious to see if both these teams, how they want to necessarily approach it, and whether they want to stick to the usual weapons that they've been familiar with, or try something new on the stage, as we are about to queue in for splat zones on Mako Mart. Be curious to see what both these teams have, and it looks like so far, I think I do see a new Sizzle season weapon.
Oh yes, and I am heavily excited for that, no pun intended. It is the Heavy Deco coming up from Mark here. I've been playing that quite a bit myself.
This is gonna be this is an interesting weapon choice here. The Heavy Deco, you got the Point Sensor and Kraken available as well, so you can use that Kraken to play very defensively if anyone's gonna try to attack you from that area and try to protect yourself. But so far right now, though, it looks like Secret Elixir is wasting no time. 75 points remain. They've already taken full control of that zone. They're trying to pressure out the rest of Jelly Squids. Jelly Squids having to spawn right in, but they got 3 specials available if they want to take advantage of them.
Yes, indeed. They're just going to have to find a way to break out, and that's one of the things with Mako Mart zones. It's so easy to get locked out, especially when you have such an onslaught of specials. That's the second Ink Strike in a row there, and we saw Crab just earlier, so, Jelly Squids have to rally their special together and find an opening. We do see Muddy pushing up on the stack, and that is the first step, but they are going to have to survive the Crab Tank to get to that zone.
Yeah, and key things to quickly note here with Secret Elixir, they gotta have a very aggressive comp, so that's the reason why Secret Elixir is just pushing so far up ahead. 2 down right now on the side of Jelly Squids. They're at least able to neutralize Marks using that Kraken to play the turret here, but this is looking to be a quick and done deal for Secret Elixir. In fact, turning that to a delayed wipe pretty much 100-0 the rest of the way. Secret Elixir winning that first map in a very convincing manner.
Yes, they did, and if one would think that with zones, having the more defensive posture is the way to go, but it is kind of reversed. The aggression, especially for Mako Mart, really plays to your advantage, being able to get the early push, the early hold, and then just continually to pile on specials to keep it that way. It was hard for, I'm blanking now, Jelly Squids to break out there. They have a more defensive comp going there with the junior and the heavy splatling, but they weren't able to use it to their full advantage, which is the amount of pressure that Secret Elixir was putting on them.
I mean, Secret Elixir too, their composition just allowed for total aggression. The slosh, both variants of the splash shot, and more importantly, that splash-o-matic, which basically meant they're just going to be in your face every time, similar to what we saw in the previous set there too. And it's pretty much the same script. Secret Elixir just playing very aggressively, and then by the time Jelly Squids tried to set everything back up on defense again, Secret Elixir was just weighing and just trying to be in your face every time. That pretty much explained what happened there on Mako Zones there, Imad.
No, 100%. But I feel like the script might get flipped a little bit here on the Towerfish Hagglefish. It still lends itself to the more aggressive comps, but having that junior, having that heavy splatling will certainly come in handy trying to push that tower, and it really is going to be slowing down a bit in the opening bit unless we see a really big series of splats opening up.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think with this map itself, it lends itself well to a lot of range They're too so hey, maybe it didn't work out too well for Jelly Squids with that heavy deco. They could try to dish it out again, especially with this map with all of the terrain that you can work with from range. It might work out really nicely. But hey, maybe Secret Elixir will still want to play as aggressive as they can as we're about to load into Hagglefish Tower Control. Maybe they just want us to keep playing aggressive, trying to make sure that they're still in the face of Jelly Squids each time. I froze there for a second because I wasn't expecting the weapon to be dished out. That's a vanilla Splatter Shot Pro!
That is indeed a vanilla splash shot. They were wanting some crowd, but that was not the weapon I was expecting it. They're going for a double bin line, actually, with the dually squelchers as well. So you said the range would be helpful. They are certainly bringing it.
Yeah, so they went like double midline basically with the 52 or excuse me, the dually squelchers, excuse me, and the Splatter Shot Pro. On the other side of it, the only change is the 52 from Secret Elixir. So Secret Elixir is also backing themselves up with a bit more range there as well. 2 down, by the way, on both sides. Junior does go down as well. It looks like Secret Elixir, they're just trying to push up ahead. Now they got somebody on the tower, and now Secret Elixir, they're trying to take full control of the base of Jelly Squids.
Yeah, this is the same position we saw Jelly Squids in at the beginning of last match as well. Just Secret Elixir piling on the pressure, getting through many of the points here. And while we see Jelly Squids, the crab gets popped, the Kraken's game popped out, that is going to stall them out for just a bit, but they're going to have to take quite a bit of map control and get a couple splats to boot in order to really stop this push.
Yeah, but on the side of Jelly Squids, they just can't afford to keep losing members or trade at all, because right now Secret Elixir are already knocking on the door of this checkpoint, of this second checkpoint, excuse me, and Jelly Squids trying to rush in with members just surrounding the tower. Secret Elixir is just giving Jelly Squids no chance to respond. 3 members down already. They could convert this to a delayed wipe effectively, and Secret Elixir with another convincing victory in Hagglefish Tower Control. Now they're up 2-0 in this playoff 3. And just like the previous map, this one was also very convincing.
Oh man, just looking at the map is proof enough for that. You know, so much blue right now. You know, Secret Elixir, they were able to get the opening push, get the advantage earlier on, and they kept it. They kept it for the longest time. Even when the specials of Jelly Squids were coming out, we saw the Kraken once again just trying to stall out that tower. They didn't go down to it. They held their ground, they backed up when they needed to, and then they continued to pile on the pressure even after their specials ran out.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, they just kept the train going. Secret Elixir, once they have full control of that tower, the other flaw that Jelly Squids had with their team comp, I mean, the only member that can really be in your face is the V Junior, which is less than optimal, and then everybody else has to fire from range. If Secret Elixir, if they understand, okay, we could probably punish these guys here, because it's going to take some time to boot up, or they're not going to have too much killing power. Secret Elixir was just going to realize that they just kept going in their face every time. Jelly Squids was just panicking at a few moments, and it pretty much showed that Secret Elixir pretty much had that one on lock, and yeah, Jelly Squids just got ran out the door in that particular map combination.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned the Junior. We saw several places there where the Junior went full Battle Junior, pushing up ahead as if it were a splash. We saw the Bubbler in the corner trying to make something happen, but it did get shut down. We saw them trying to defend the tower, but just too many members were there to defend it. It's like they were certainly trying to help out, be able to push up with the aggression, but they didn't have enough coordination. They were kept so much on the back foot, they just weren't able to pull that together in time. And I think going into this Rainmaker set, Secret Elixir is certainly going to have the advantage with the amount of aggression we've seen.
Yeah, and Secret Elixir is sticking to that exact same script, basically almost the same weapons. Only change here, so the V-Pro didn't quite work this time, so it's now switching over to the Dark Tetras, and now the NZAP 80... That's an NZAP 85, I believe, and yeah, that's now a tactical cooler available for Jelly Squid, so they might be able to try to get some speed up there with the cooler, but basically the same script for Secret Elixir, play aggressive.
Indeed, and I think Jelly Squids is trying to optimize to kind of combat that a little bit with that NZAP there. You know, the Tactic Cooler does lend itself to the instant respawn, the instant jumping in and whatnot, and just the NZAP itself tends to have a bit more range and precision, but already we see Secret Elixir getting that upper hand earlier on, and all I say that as it's just the Rainmaker remaining, and we're going to see if Money's able to shut them down here.
But you might have cursed a little too much there on Secret Elixir's end, I imagine. Yeah, 3 members dropped it. It was only the Rainmaker Oh, they're only alive, and pretty much that was Jelly Squids shuts that one down. And now Jelly Squids, they could wrestle for more control or pick up the Rainmaker, try to get a push of their own. But I think they're gonna opt for more control and let the Rainmaker reset a bit. And I think that's gonna be actually never mind. They were just playing a little patiently, trying to pick up that Rainmaker, try to get a push aided on their own. But Jelly Squids might be moving a little further up ahead. Soda's trying to pressure out with that triple Ink Strike with their shot there as well.
You know, Jelly Squids did an excellent job of shutting down that last push, but I think they focused a bit too much on that Rainmaker. His Secret Elixir was able to just keep them contained to that corner. But now we did see the 2 down off of Secret Elixir and the jumping getting punished so severely. This is going to be Jelly Squid's chance to really gain some map control here.
Yeah, Jelly Squids, this is their opportunity, as you mentioned, to get any sort of map control that they can, because Secret Elixir is just going to try to make sure that they can paint as much as they can. But anytime Secret Elixir, it looked like they were going to take out 2 members or Jelly Squid's able to take out 2 or 3 members of Secret Elixir. Secret Elixir pays no one's attention to it. OBT nearly picks up that Rainmaker and slamming it home, but just a bit short. But it looks like this could be the chance for Jelly Squids if they can hold on defense to make sure that that first checkpoint doesn't get broken. Secret Elixir, though, they're trying to play as aggressive as they can. 1-for-1, turn that into 2 members down for Jelly Squids. Does that Rainmaker reset on time? It does! Secret Elixir was just a few seconds late.
That's certainly going to lend itself to Jelly Squids here, as Secret Elixir is going to have to pop that, but really, it's just going to be a minor setback. We already see Twig and Soda push so far up on that pedestal, just keeping it contained, and with the rest of the amount of paint they have out there, like, they have so much room to back up with and regroup, even if they lose control of this checkpoint here.
Yeah, and they broke through that first checkpoint for sure, so Jelly Squids is now having to play a little bit more defensively and aggressively at the same time, trying to make sure that they can stop Secret Elixir. But Secret Elixir, though, they've already taken out 2 members there. Can we see even more coming out of this one? Soda picks up that Rainmaker, and it's 3 members down actually for Jelly Squids. It's only the Heavy Deco still alive, and it looks like so far the Heavy Deco's getting pressured out, and now Secret Elixir, they have completely asserted total dominance in that base. They do lose 3, but it is down to 14 points remaining, and OBT has to escape.
But even so, 14 is nothing to sneeze at on the map. You know, typically you see Rainmaker, there's no such thing as a safe push, but with Scorch, that's about as safe as a push you can get unless Jelly Squids is able to work some sort of wipeout here.
Yeah, OBT going down. Twig was able to get one more. Now Twig is having to flank from the back. Twig takes out 1, but not before going down. But it neutralizes part of the push that Jelly Squids had, and they lose 3 in the process. Angelic is likely gonna go down here. Yes, probably down to a bomb of the sort there. The burst bomb taking them out, and so far, Secret Elixir, they are able to get some of that control back, and they neutralize that Jelly Squids push.
And this is just, you give a Secret Elixir one inch, they're going to take it miles. You know, like, they're already in control of the Maker, and when the last minute remaining, they don't have enough time to really stall it out here, but they're certainly going to chew as much time off the clock as possible, and it just is going to have to force their hand in order to get that Rainmaker back, and they do get the nice 2 splats here, but with Jaren's up on that snipe there, is like, they're going to not make it easy for them at all.
Yeah, Jelly Squids is just completely getting shut out right now. They're just having a hard time even getting past where the first checkpoint was. And yet they are Soda's still holding on to this Rainmaker, but I believe the Rainmaker is going to be close to exploding here in just a moment from what I noticed on the timer a bit. So far, Secret Elixir, though, they have total control of that Jelly Squids area as much as they do, and it's down to 11 seconds. There's the explosion. Soda does explode, but can Jelly Squids, can they try to do anything here? I believe they're going to have overtime in play.
You know, one thing they do have in their favor, they still haven't gotten the checkpoint yet, so that is going to buy them a little bit of time if they're able to get up to it. But already see OBT gunning for that Rainmaker does get taken out, but that is going to just pull back Jelly Squids. Like, they're still stuck in their ledge here. They're not able to drop safely, and we see the flank coming out with the strikes. They are pushed into a corner so grouped up right now. Is like just one stray bomb could take out the entire team like that, and that is going to be the end for Jelly Squids.
Yeah, Jelly Squids just got absolutely cornered, and yeah, basically it was down to around 10 or 11 seconds before Soda would end up exploding with the Rainmaker there. So Jelly Squids, they only had a small chance of basically getting the first checkpoint with the way Secret Elixir was playing, and yeah, Secret Elixir pretty much had those 3 maps taken care of, they are up 3-0, and Jelly Squids, I'd like to talk to the end of that one because, yeah, Jelly Squids picked up the Rainmaker, trying to get a hopeful push going, but as you saw, Secret Elixir had a flank open. They had another avenue where they can just completely collapse onto them, and it was just game over for Jelly Squids.
Game over indeed. You know, it was like, they certainly had some good ideas going out there, but they weren't able to really execute them effectively. It's just, they were, once again, just kept on the back foot for so much. It's just, they had like a really good, strong comp going out, but it just broke under the pressure that Secret Elixir was putting on top of them, just wave after wave. We saw the bucket in the 52 just come up from behind, kept them unaware so many times. It's just, they weren't able to effectively combat that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think it really started to show that Secret Elixir did not lose a step in between the last event that they did, and I believe, which was Low Ink, leading up to this one here as well. At Secret Elixir, I mean, they were just playing it incredibly aggressive for all 3 of those maps, I'm at, and it just really started to show that Jelly Squids was just trying to find that response, and it just wasn't there for Jelly Squids, and Secret Elixir just keeping that train going each time.
Oh, for sure. Now, we are going to be getting ready for our next matchup. It seems we have Acropora versus Iruka. I'm looking at the maps here. Once again, we're going to be starting out on Clan Blitz. So real quickly before we can talk a little bit further about this Clan Blitz map here, we got Acropora versus Iruka, which I do know that both these teams somewhat well, definitely one more than the other there as well. So I'm really curious to see how these round 3 pools do pan out, and with Clan Blitz Museum I believe this is Clan Blitz in Museum del Foncino coming up here. It's gonna be fun to see how both these teams want to attack it there, and whether they want to definitely dish out a different weapon from the new patch. Now, we did see the heavy deco on display on that last match. You know, I was super excited to see it in action, but you know, I'm trying to think, looking at these members here, like anyone stand out? Do you think that would be bringing out a wild card from the new patch?
Nothing that strikes out to me right away, to my knowledge. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if any of these members really in general, not just from weapons from the newer patch, but just but really in terms of the style that they play with, in combination with each of these maps going forward. I would be excited to see if really anybody at this point, not just one person, but anybody, wants to dish out something new from the Sizzle season.
Absolutely. Now, of course, for clams on Museum de Alfonso, is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to? Anything you want to see from them?
Really, I wouldn't be. So, with the way this map is kind of structured, I would love to see really how both these teams try to take full advantage of the entrance on the right hand side, and then the block, of course, on the left, just trying to keep aiding that push. The first thing you want to do is not necessarily take the gray block right away, because that can get a little risky. But he can take full control around of that base area with the spinner in mind. I would love to see teams just go full aggressive. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Secret Elixir in the previous set there as well. How if you can go with a full aggressive comp and just take full advantage the rest of the way, to lead to good things. And for Acropora and Iruka, or either of these teams, I want to see if they can do it.
No, absolutely. You know, I was just thinking the exact same thing. Like, that right flank is one of those things where, like, if you do it every single time, it's like they're going to be expecting it, but at the same time, you want to take it. Not if you don't take it at all, it's just going to be an avenue that is left unused, and it really can split the attention of a defending team if you have someone just coming at them from that side every single time. So, yeah, I would love to see some aggression coming out from that side flank for sure.
Now, for sure, you definitely want to see that keep going, but I will give any of these teams bonus points for taking full advantage of the gray block if they can go unpunished with that one, considering how deceptive that push can necessarily get. Now, especially when you factor in, I know we've talked about the new season, especially with this being the first Swimmer Sinks season on the new patch. I would love to see if any of these teams. We've seen light Tetris, we've seen heavy decos, we've seen the Tenta Sorella Umbrella so far. Me personally, I would love to see a new unique weapon. I've been personally waiting to see if anyone was going to dish out that Anarchy Nova, but maybe they're going to try to prove me wrong. Maybe I will never see that Anarchy Nova by the end of the shift here, as both teams are about to load in.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen like the Paintbrush or the new Blaster. Like, from what I've heard, like those are some pretty strong weapons, but maybe it just doesn't fall into what either of the teams are used to. We do see a Tetris coming out, but is that the new Tetris? It is not. That is going to be the vanilla Tetris.
So all of my excitement for the new weapons has just completely went out the door in this first map. I'm only partially sad about it, but but in all honesty, I do like the picks. Though the interesting thing to note from Acropora's side, they got double dualies, not just Dark Tetris, but also the regular Splat dualies.
That is true. They're going to be bringing out their crab from those vanilla dualies here. I believe that is equipped with a suction bomb rather than the burst bomb that the Splash comes with. And so already we see Acropora with that early control of mid, just taking control of that spinner, but they don't really have too much more than that right now. Iruka has the first power clamp of the game online.
Yeah, first power clam available on Iruka's side. They do lose two, but really, where is that power clam? There is one that just spawned in, and now maybe they're going to try to say, this is the go button, this is our time to push. But it looks like the rest of the team is going to be trailing up ahead. Now you got the rest of Acropora. They're pushing up ahead right now. At least that's what it looked like for a quick second, but I think they got completely neutralized. They sure did. That's a nice hold from Iruka. Gabe's going to come out here, taking out cool with the Inkjet from that ballpoint especially. And really, both teams are still stuck in neutral, but more importantly, the clam economy favoring Iruka right now. Let's see if Iruka has a chance.
They're going to be running the ballpoint alongside that Tri-Slosher. A nice mix of defensive pressure and aggression, and a nice pop from that Crab. That's what Crab does so effectively. She's getting up on that spinner and just absolutely raining fire upon the enemy plat. And with 21 clams, so much paint in mid, like, if they're able to stay alive, and here we do see the juice coming out, this could be the beginning of Iruka's push right here.
Yeah, we could be seeing something huge coming out of Iruka. They got 3 of those power clams available, and then half of the amount needed. And the 52 dropping from Acropora, that's going to be a one squid going down. Maybe we could be seeing a lot more triple inks trying to carve out that path. The Tri-Slosher Nouveau and the ballpoint drops. They have to drop the other power clam at least for a quick second. And the rest of Acropora has shut that idea of a big push down. Yes, they did lose 2, but the rest of Iruka is in no position to get those clams back. Ahmed, what could have been a huge push is shut down entirely.
That was absolutely huge for Acropora. Like, we saw all the specials from Iruka coming out, but Acropora held the ground there to stay alive, and as soon as those specials ran out, they responded with their own specials, and they came out with a double flank off to boot. Like, if that had not played out well, that would have left their plat wide open, but they were able to get the wipe out, but their return push was not any more successful, it looks like.
Both teams' pushes really haven't been too successful. I think it really is a testament to how well both these teams have been playing on defense. As soon as I praise the defense, still one member did drop on that side, but there is a bit of a trade. Really, both these teams have just been playing excellent defense there. Anytime you see one of these teams spawn a power clam, then try to make a push, it gets shut down every time, and we can say that for both these teams here. We're down to 152 on the clock. We shouldn't be surprised at this point that we haven't seen a score on the board, and especially with both teams still trading 2 members, we do see, however, a Moss Man picking up a power clam, or spawning a power clam for that matter. Maybe Acropora, if they find that opening, maybe they can get that push started.
They're certainly going to be attending to. The range is going to be opening up a path, but they're going to have to contend with the Crab getting popped right here on top of that spinner. And they do take down the dualies with that, but it is 3 down off of Iruka. That's going to wipe out. This is exactly what Acropora needs to start getting that push, and that's going to be the first points on the board as we get close to this last minute. Yeah,
that first push started, and hey, much praise to the 52 on Acropora to pretty much allow that opening to work out. And Acropora, yes, to get the first points of the game. We will not be seeing a possibly extended overtime. It's down to 71 points remaining, though. It's not necessarily the strongest of pushes, and especially with a minute left to go, one push from Iruka and an especially strong one can mean a difference.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that it wasn't quite as surprising to see it such a slow push for this particular map mode, but the fact that we've seen so many power clams and not seen them gone into the basket, like Iruka had 3 at one point, all ready to go, but they lost them in a single push. And right now, that's going to be the ballpoint going down, the try going down, and 30 seconds left. That is not what you want to see.
And Seacan with a huge pick onto the user that held the Power Clam, which ultimately means that Power Clam disappears, which is going to be a little bit more difficult now. Iruka has to get a Power Clam at least to get an OT push going, but they need to start asserting some control of mid and then some. 3 specials available. More importantly, the Crab and the triple Ink Strike if they can carve out that path. More importantly, they got to keep that Power Clam alive here. I'm mad. That Crab is out. That's a C-Jet dropping from Mothman. Maybe this is the opening here. Overtime kicks in. Here comes that push. It's that push in. It's 80 points remaining, but where is that follow-up? Here's the Power Clam available on that side. Can Ninja sneak his way through? No, not true to this name. Ninja cannot sneak it in. That push is slammed shut. And Acropora holds, I'm mad.
That was so down to the wire. Iruka had that opportunity, but they kind of fumbled the ball there. The pressure, the defense from Acropora just was locked down tight. They did not let anything pass after that first Power Clam went in.
And more importantly, there, I really like the idea that they had one member down on Acropora. Iruka basically needed to get a push going. Their time was not on their side at the end of it. So I don't necessarily blame them. They had to basically rush everybody in, trying to make sure they didn't get that push started. Just alone breaking that barrier was a huge step. Maybe if Ninja was able to get just a bit more, was able to sneak around a little bit more for about a few extra seconds, it could have been a swing the other direction for Iruka. But at the end of the day, though, Acropora holds, and it was a very tight game of Clam Blitz we just saw.
You know, overall, it's like the fights were pretty back and forth for most of that match, but I feel like Iruka, they had like some good opportunities to make a push, but even though they had their special coordinate, they didn't take full advantage of their special uses, and they just weren't able to like win the fights that they needed. The specials come out, but then there were just not really any follow-up. Either they wouldn't get the splash that they needed, or they just wouldn't push Acropora as far as Acropora pushed them back. We saw the plays from that 52, getting up on that plat, getting double the splash that they needed, and just completely wiping them out to open up for their one push.
Oh, absolutely. And before we talk about Halo Fierce Market Zones real quick, I mean, we've highlighted it earlier. They had a 3 Power Clam push that almost materialized into something awesome, but Acropora pretty much held the line entirely. I think, as you mentioned before, the special coordination not quite there, and anytime they tried to find that opening, Acropora was just there waiting for them, and it pretty much just spelled the end of that big push that could have been a thing, but it never materialized. But either way, Iruka has to now reset back. They have to start focusing on the second map here in Hagelfish Market Zones, I'm at.
It's going to be a different map, different mode, but I feel like we're going to be seeing a little bit of the same, unless Iruka is going to, fix what they weren't able to bring to the last match. It's going to come down to the same. They have to be able to focus their pushes, be able to follow up with their specials, because this map doesn't have not necessarily the same flank opportunities that Clam Blitz on Museum does, so they're really going to have to brute force their way a little bit more, and with the amount of defense we've seen from Acropora, they're probably not going to do so as easily. Oh,
definitely, and now, basically, I think both these teams, I think the slight change, if to my recollection, is that slosher from Ravioli, but effectively the same strategy basically applies, except Mothman switching over to the V Junior. Now, I do appreciate this V Junior pick just a tiny bit, especially with this particular map combination, especially with the new changes to the big bubbler as well. The bubble's a lot bigger now, but could get easily neutralized by other specials in mind, so it's something you just need to keep tabs on. Iruka, by the way, getting the early cap of that zone, only to have it get flipped right away, so not much of a lead, or I couldn't even say a lead for that matter, as we do see the bubble popped out and 2 members have dropped on Iruka's end.
Once again, we're seeing that 52 just wrecking havoc from that side. The Inkjet does take them down, but the damage was done. They are forced to be pushed back to their base there, and the junior, or no, it was the Autobomb that finished off that ballpoint.
Yeah, the Autobomb finishing off the ballpoint is just not helping matters at all. Reef Slider finds that sonar, nice usage from Seacat as well. And now members of Iruka are basically just dropping left and right there, which is just helping out Acropora's case of maintaining the zone. Gabe is just trying to fight with the ballpoint there. Now the rest of Iruka, they're just trying to make sure they can get any sort of control that they can. Inkjet being used here, I'm at it, but there's just not much of an opening that they have. It's another trade.
Yes, it's a trade indeed, and they're gonna lose half their members in that process. Just the ballpoint remaining now. with 5 points remaining, that is going to be the end of that game, and Acropora is going to be on top once again.
This second map is a complete opposite of the first one I'm at. The previous one, we saw a back and forth matchup between these two. Basically, the rest of Iruka had no response. Basically, the rest of Acropora just kept pushing far up ahead with the Tetris and everybody else, especially with that feature using those big bubblers to play very defensively. By the end of all that, though, Iruka tried their best, but then once Acropora had the zone, Iruka was just trying to find ways to contest, and they would keep losing members, which meant that Iruka had to keep staggering, and it pretty much just spelled the end of Iruka right there. And that was that for Hagglefish Zones.
Yeah, once again, it came down to, like, not only did Acropora, they utilize their specials effectively, but they also utilized the rest of their members alongside those specials effectively. Like, the crab got popped as soon as they had the control of zone. They just made all of Iruka have to move, and while they're busily scrambling around, the 52 came up and just cleaned up after them from the side, and they just were not prepared for that.
Definitely not. And now we move on to that Art Academy tower control here real quick. Iruka just got completely blitzed out in that second map, a complete contrast of that first one. So this is the last two maps in this playoff stream might be very familiar, just very different modes altogether. So now that we got Art Academy tower control, Inkling Art Academy tower control, to clarify, Iruka, they need to go back to the bag of tricks. They need to figure out what is going to work for them against Acropora, which they almost had something good in one, and now this second one maybe have to give them a quick reset there, a little bit of tweaking to their composition, maybe see how they can get ready for this third map.
You know, with how stalematy Clan Blitz was in that first game, I can imagine that this is Iruka's opportunity to make a comeback here. You know, if any match is the match to lose, Splat Zones is certainly it. It is a tough one if you aren't able to regain control after losing it in the first bout. But you know, tower control lends itself, even though it can be pretty snowbally, the fact that they have to come to you, the fact that they have to essentially move with that tower, is certainly opens it up just a little bit more. But again, Inkblot Art Academy is especially known for its snowballiness.
And key thing to look out too for both these teams is about to queue right in. Second, watch for the fights around the second checkpoint. That could be a very tough checkpoint to break too. So with both these teams, what?
There we go.
Yeah, you would see why I said what for a second there. What is that? Okay, Cool is now just completely messy. Cool is here with the S-Blast on hand. Let's go.
No, tower control is certainly the mode to bring out the blaster. And I think on top of that, just Inkblot as well, there's a lot of ledges, a lot of places to get, and there's a nice pick from Cool right off the bat. Are they able to get a second one? No, the ballpoint does back up, but again, yeah, there's no ledges that are safe now with the blaster in play.
Yeah, now you have that S-Blast, which has the same wrinkle to blasters being played in tower control. You just have to work around those ledges. Be careful and respect those as much as you can. Yes, we praise a lot about the S-Blast, and the S-Blast went down earlier, but two members down on Iruka's end, and this push keeps on going for Acropora. Make that 3 members, and now they turn that to effectively almost a delayed wipe, and now this push just keeps on going for Acropora. Iruka is just getting completely chucked out right now.
Yikes, this Tetris is just locking them down, and the blaster following it up with the double reef slider is like, they weren't even to the first checkpoint, they're already taking control of Ass, already pushing up to their spawn, and like that's going to be the first 2 checkpoints gone. Acropora's already on their way to such a decisive push right off the bat.
Yeah, the triple ink strip being used to having to play defensively. Now they turn this into 3 members taken out on Acropora's Acropora's end. Yes, Iruka at least holds for another day, but yeah, as you mentioned before, all the reef sliders that were just charging in and all the positioning that Acropora had pretty much made it so that Iruka had no chance to escape out of there. Iruka at least holds for this push, but this is a huge... There's a lot of points remaining, but there is a lot of time left.
You know, Iruka has 3 specials online. The Inkjet is going to be popped here to spearhead this operation, but you know, the bubbler is going to be popped in response to that. The crab is going to be popped as well, and like, even though they took down almost all of Acropora, just to how far that this tower was in their base, they had plenty of opportunity to prepare, and they're holding that line so well right now.
Yeah, Yeah, for sure. Acropora is holding the line insanely well. I mean, with the not Punch Man and more importantly, getting through the second checkpoint. You don't need to do too much unless you want to really try to focus on getting a lot more points than you need. But Iruka has to play a lot more. Has to play from behind big time, as we do see Acropora. They're just trying to push right up ahead. 2 specials, by the way, available on Iruka's. And then, well, as soon as I praised them for 2 specials, one of them is lost as the splash goes down. Basically, a lot of brawling really around mid, but it looks like Acropora, they're doing their part to play defensively.
No, 100%. And like, Iruka is trying to break through and trying to make that opening, and yeah, it's just they're getting stopped at every turn that they make. The blaster just come in here wrecking havoc. It does get taken down, but like it's just chipping away time. Like Acropora, they don't need to really make any risky plays at this point. They just gotta stall for time and be as aggressive as keeps them off their side of the map.
Yeah, the goal of the game right now for Acropora is to just hold on. They're doing just that. They turned this into a wipeout. My goodness, Acropora, basically Iruka just doesn't have a response just to this onslaught that they have. And Cool's just all the way up front too, I just noticed, with that S-Blast now going down, getting punished for moving too far up, but that pretty much enabled the Acropora to get this tower moving. More Reef Slider shenanigans being moved up here by Seacant as well. And now Acropora is back to trying to take full control of Iruka's territory.
Oh man, they are going to be keeping Iruka on the back foot here. It's like the best offense is the best defense after all, and they're back to that third checkpoint. Like they have a pretty decent lock. It's just the blaster and the Tetris are going to be jumping in, but they were just able to chip off a few more points and push the tower so deep into Iruka's base there.
Yeah, Iruka at least gets the wipeout, so they get to live for another day, but they got only 1 minute left to go. Look at the amount of specials, by the way, that Iruka has. They have 4 specials. As long as one of those members don't drop with either of those specials, it's going to be insanely key. They use 2 of them now. The Inkjet and the Tactical are being used earlier, but they got the Crab and the Triple Ink Strike waiting in the wings. Triple Ink Strike being popped up, but it is gone. And so far, they're trying to make it to this first checkpoint here, but it's just been so difficult. Acropora just has so much domination of this mid area, and that's all they need to do right now.
Yeah, 30 seconds remaining is all Acropora's got to do is keep doing what they're doing. And as long as they stay alive, as long as they counter each of Iruka's attempts to push each of their specials with such as this, they're just going to keep them from being able to get any points on the board.
Yeah, and the worst thing for Iruka right now is to keep trading, because they need to get all those members up on time to get even a chance at a push at this stage of the game, as the splash drops a huge member going down, and basically they are going to try to take the tower. It's basically the last push that they have available, and oh my goodness, they went off the tower, and Acropora just takes it, just swipes the tower like that, and they win this particular set 3-0 in this play all 3.
Man, that was played out in such a dominant fashion. As slow as that first game was, Acropora just They were just building up steam. Like they took the second match with zones 100-0. Then they just absolutely destroyed Iruka in this last one with that push there. Like they didn't even need specials to get that opening. Like we saw as the Inkjet came out trying to deal with the blaster, the Tetris came around and just took them out from behind. They got so many splats off that, and then once they kept control of bats, it was just 2 checkpoints down in a blink of an eye.
I mean, what just didn't help Iruka's case, they just had no responses to the double Reef Slider composition that Acropora had, and basically by the end of all that though, all 3 maps were basically different tales here. The first one was just was a definition of how close both these teams were, and then it was total domination in the second map by Acropora, and then a slow but dominating matchup in the third one for Acropora as well. It was 3-0 the entire way for Acropora. I do gotta give credit though to Iruka. They had almost something going in that first and third map. I'm sure they don't want to necessarily remember the second one. They had something. They had something great going. They almost took that first map away, but just maybe a few seconds and a few inches too late there. So, but I gotta give them credit for working hard. Make sure that Acropora had to earn those 3 points.
I think the other thing I want to point out for like Acropora getting such an early and such a huge lead at that, you know, we saw the Splash and the Junior hang out on their plat for the most of that game. Like every time that Iruka tried to make a move, we see the Bubbler come out, we see the Crab come out just to play defense. But in the meantime, the Tetris and the Blaster just went out and had some fun with it. Like anytime that they were Iruka put their sights on the bats, we'd see the Tetris or the Ballestra come in from their blind spot, just get a couple of splats, and just stall out whatever attempt they had at that tower. Just kept the amount of chaos that was going out there. Just they weren't able to really get something together in the time that they had.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, not much of a response on the double Reef Slider comp. And basically, the Tetris and the S-Bus were just allowed to do whatever the heck they can close to Iruka's base. Iruka was just completely caught off guard each time, and I think that really just showed how well Acropora played that third map to perfection.
Oh, 100%. And that will be the end of our pools, of our play all threes. We will be taking a short break as we get ready for the top cut. Just a little bit of seeding to do as we tally up the points and whatnot, so make sure you stay tuned, stay hydrated, and we'll be right back. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Swimmer Sync 111. It is I, Mad Gamer the Second, and I am joined once again by Keon in our top cut bracket.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see how these two teams, Orca, Ballestra, and Legato, faced against. I remember the last time we covered Legato. Legato, they're the same group that we remember from last time, but this time for this particular Swimmer Sync, they're up against Orca, Ballestra.
Yes, indeed. Both of these some regular attenders of our SOS, and also of our Great White bracket of SOS. At that, both the teams pretty high tier, and we're going to be seeing some pretty classy stuff coming out from them. Now, of course, what do you once again, what we are talking about with the new Sizzle season? Anything you're going to be expecting from these teams?
So once again, my predictions have been way wrong. Everybody really loves to favor the light Tetras. I wouldn't be surprised if the light Tetras are going to be back here again, as it looks like they have wasted no time. They're already queued in here, IMAD. This is what we call the excitement of the Great White brackets bring. But looks like so far, one side does not want to dish out Sizzle season weapons. The other side doesn't want to either. We got very vanilla-ish weapons coming up.
Well, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to be going with the tried and true, and it seems like they are pretty confident in their pick as well. As you said, they locked in pretty darn quick. But of course, we are going to be going for Rainmaker, who can get the upper hand first. Right now, I'm just going to start out with a little bit of a poking from both sides.
Yeah, so the key thing here with Rainmaker Museum here is we do have a trade of two members down on the side of Orca Ballestra right now. It looks like the Rainmaker's been picked up right out of the gate there, but it looks like it's going to lead to a wipeout. And by the end of all this one, it looks like Legato has all that sort of control in play. One thing to quickly note, you could easily jump off the spinner and go to that first checkpoint for the quick cap, but it looks like they're going to have to take the longer route this time, the scenic route, I must say, as that first checkpoint is broken.
Yeah, we did see the early 2 down for Orca Ballestra right there, and so of course with their wiper, they decided to try to go for the sneaky jump over mid, try to get the checkpoint, but of course Legato is going to come back, and they've already got their first checkpoint, and 2 members off of Orca Ballestra to boot, so they're going to be able to get a couple more points off of this push.
Yeah, right now Legato is just continuing to push up ahead. Orca Ballestra is just being caught a little flat-footed, but it's 2 members down already on Orca Ballestra's end, and it looks like right now the Legato has lost 2, and they lose 3, and it looks like Kuvia is still trying to maintain position for this ball point. There's going to be a jump coming in here, but they're going to have to slowly escape. It is going to be 32 points remaining for Legato. Not a bad start push, all things considered, but still plenty of time.
Yeah, we barely got into the 4-minute mark, or I'm sorry, the 3-minute mark, and Legato did certainly get a nice push going there, but of course 32 is not impossible to come back from. Orca Ballestra is making their way out with a Zipcaster is going to be popped. They do get the pick, 2 picks here, and this could be the opening of something huge.
Yeah, now you have 2 members down on Legato's end. Maybe this could be the time to make that jump. The spinner's in the greatest location at this point. At this point, though, Pita's using that stamper trying to put Ink down, but it looks like they're going to be a little slow picking up this Rainmaker right now. They are able to make the jump, but cannot slam it home. Legato's clutch on defense. Voiden's using the crab tank. You're looking to see if they can get some more in, but it looks like it's 3 members down on Orca. Voiden's going to have to escape Legato holds for another day.
You know, once again, Orca Ballestra trying to make that jump to get to the pedestal, but once again gets shut down before they can make much headway. Still stuck at 60 points, and they're going to be taking 3 down off of their team. And while Legato is going to try to push it, the last remaining member does stop them in time, but with the wipeout once again, Legato is still going to be pushing.
Yeah, even though the wipeout did happen, the Orca did respawn just enough on time to allow themselves to get a decent hold, so it's not as devastating as a push as it could have been, but Legato does extend their lead. Herman's trying to sneak through! Orca has been caught flat-footed here, 15 points remaining. Herman was just on a one-man mission to basically sneak the push, and Orca was just having none of it, but it's done, but they got some more points for Legato. What a sneaky play.
You know, it's sometimes like you expect the unexpected flank coming in to grab the Rainmaker, but
no.
The brush just came in like from the front door, said, "Hey guys, I'm going to be taking this," and they could not stop them. But of course, now Orca Ballestra is once again just trying to find an opening now, and Legato just got them kind of cornered in their base right now.
Yeah, and something to note here for Legato. They got a lot of control around this mid, and somewhat enough of Orca's base painted. So really, a few things to note for Orca. You gotta get some control back there. The Rainmaker is just tucked away in the corner. Actually, gonna be pretty much respawning back in mid here, but it looks like 2 members have dropped already on the Orcas, and now Legato's gonna get some control back, and now some more as the Stamper drops as well, turning that into a delayed triple.
We're seeing here Legato picking up the Mega once again, and they got so much pain on the ground right now going to this last minute. It's like they are going for the bit of a Hail Mary, just trying to get a couple more points, but 15, there's not too many more points to get at this point, so I think it's more of a stall tactic as they do have so much map control, and Tuxter, doing their best to just delay them out, get jumps in for their team, and yeah, this is Legato's game to win unless Orca Ballestra is able to come up with something here.
Well, Orca Ballestra needs to get not just the first checkpoint, an even bigger push. Legato doesn't need to play too aggressive. They can just play a little bit more passively, try to play as defensive as they can. They got a decent lead here, but they can't afford to lose too much more. They lost 3 members, but however, the jump was missed by Femi, but it looks like that should be the first checkpoint. They broke through, but Orca needs to hold for another 10 seconds. That three members down situation for Legato is proving might be their own undoing, but it looks like the Splat Doolies drops the trade 1-for-1 hit up, picks up the Rainmaker, and 2 members have dropped, and the Splat Bomb's gonna take them out. It's gonna be a wipeout for more style. Legato wins map 1. IMAG got a little dicey at the end, but Legato's able to hold the line.
Yeah, Orca Ballestra was able to get the door open and start something happening, but Legato just slammed it shut right on their foot, it seemed like. They got the first checkpoint, but they weren't able to really make much more off of that. At that point, the rest of Legato have been able to push back in and respawn, and it's just a matter of time before the specials became online.
Yeah, really, Legato was just trying to push for even more points. You all saw the one Squid mission from Hermit with the brush trying to, sneak on through. Then Orca was like, oh, wait a minute, they might be able to get the Rainmaker, so they had to quickly push a little bit back. I appreciate that play more than I should, but ultimately Legato had a lot of control. Orca was just trying to do their best, but just couldn't win some of those fights they desperately needed. And now Orca has to enter map 2, already 1 down. Legato can win this one to take home the set.
Yes, indeed. We are no longer in our playoff 3. It is a best of 3. So Legato is, as you said, on match point and going into Clam's Manta Maria. It's like we're transitioning to a very similar map combo as we saw earlier from Museum to Manta Maria. And with Legato coming out on top of that last one, which is the amount of aggression they've had, they could certainly convert this into a victory with that same kind of playstyle.
That same style will always work, but Orca needs to make some tweaks to their play there. They saw that Legato was just rolling right along that Rainmaker map in Museum. So with Manta Maria Clam Blitz, it won't move as fast. They still got to spawn power clams trying to get those pushes going. And Orca, they may need to find a new setup here to make this work. As we do see right now, Legato's going to stick to their usual, and it looks like there will be a Sizzle Season weapon in play. Heavy Deco's back.
Yeah, bringing in the Kraken and Poison. Pretty decent weapon kit for Clams on Manta Maria, but something that we didn't quite bring up, the return of the Stamper. I think at this point we're so used to seeing it in comp, but it got nerfed pretty darn hard, so it is nice to be seeing it still up and running and still being played here.
Oh, definitely. The Stamper definitely got some big nerfs there. 2 members already dropping on Orcas, and Legato's just trying to push right up here, so but it looks like they are having to hesitate just a tiny bit, just trying to get some more control down, but 3 members have dropped on Legato's, and what a response. And as you name it too, the Stamper did get some big nerfs, but Pita's paying no mind to it. But as soon as I praise Pita with that Stamper play, Pita goes down.
Of course, Commentators curse strikes once again, and
yep.
Orca Ballestra, they are able to shut down Legato's push before they even got started, and that is the nature of this map. You got a very narrow street you got to push through. You got to take control of that bunker, or even the left side if you want to make the long route, but you got to take ground before you can really make points.
Absolutely. Control of bunker and along the street to enable that push needs to be a key here. We do see Femi with that Kraken, though, trying to build up the space and the painting needed, but it looks like that should be enough to assist with 2 splats. But where is that power clam? As it's going to be a delayed triple. Tiffle got splatted out of there. There's that first clear from Orca. The 80 points remain. Now a lot more being chucked in. There's that Zipcaster as well from Peter trying to dive to the back, but punished ultimately. Maybe we could be seeing another power clam being cashed in, or they're going to probably hesitate. No, they're going to just retreat that one back. It is effectively a 1+5 push down to 65 points remaining. Nice push, really, from Orca.
Indeed, and not only was Orca able to capitalize and get points on the board, like, we saw the heavy there, still live, backed up, and now, like, there's still a lot of good map control for Orca here. They were able to get the jumps in, and they're still able to maintain their defense for Legato's counter push.
Yeah, Legato's composition just getting completely... is having a lot of problems right now because Orca's just being able to have a good choke point around the street and everything else. The Crab is having to deal with a lot more. Femi gets a double with that Kraken. What a play! This enables the push for Orca, I believe. No, actually, the power claim was just short, and the rest of the members dropped. Maybe it could have been a bigger push than we imagined, but the power claim was just short of the barrier on that toss alone. But it looks like they were able to catch it right, and they still get in. What?
I didn't even see who it was. Someone came around, they were able to get it in, like, dang, like, I thought for sure, like, that it was going to end right there, but, you know, I think that was just a little bit of a stall time. Now, Orca Ballestra is back on defense, but at the same time, they did give Legato another power clam to use, so if they're able to get a push going, they could easily take this lead back.
Yeah, that's 2 power clams available thanks to the free clam that spawns after that push, but it's 2 members down, really, on both teams. Both teams really just can't do anything, so just trying to assert control of mid as much as they can. There's that Inkjet being used. By the way, takes out the splat. Dooley, there, a second member drops as well. Maybe this could be the go button for Legato if they can find the space they desperately need. As we do see, however, one member going down again. The NZ drops. That's 3 members down. A brawl happened on the street, and that street brawl ends with Legato taking advantage. But it looks like that is a big stop there. At least it loses a little bit of Squids there. But where is that follow-up for Legato? Legato's just trying to push up ahead with 2 members down, and they can't get this push anymore. And all it is 80 points remaining. Just the 1 power clam.
You know, I like the mindset of that Stamper right there. You know, you don't need to stop the other team from getting to the basket. You just got to stop the member who's carrying the power clam from getting to the basket. And they did that. They were stopped. They took them down. But now we see the 3 down off of Legato. We see the Zipcaster going in, trying to make something happen. But the Splash is still on defense there. They still have some ground they got to take if they want to make this push. But with the last minute remaining, like, keeping Legato on the back foot is going to work out in Orca Ballestra's favor.
But the problem is Orca just lost 2 members who were holding the most amount of clams. And I'm going to note this right now. Look at the amount of clams that are available for Legato, and look at the lead for Orca. It's not safe. Not at all. It's just 1 plus 3 more, and that's enough to flip the lead the other direction. So if Legato's able to set up painting control and around bunker and street area, could be the lead, and Legato needs to find that opening.
They do indeed need to find that opening, but just once again, Orca Ballestra, even when they don't manage to break in, that's going to be a 3 down. Their defense is on tight. Like, they did not give up ground for a second, even if they weren't able to break in themselves. Now, in the last 10 seconds remaining, like, this is going to be Orca Ballestra. Like, they do have the pity clamp, so overtime will be in effect, but, you know, with the amount of map control, that Legato's got some work cut out for them.
Yeah, Legato has a lot of work cut off for them. They have to find that opening, but it looks like with all the trades that are happening, Orca's going to be happy with all the trades that's in play. Kraken to completely distract the rest of Legato, and the Kraken works out this time, and just like that, Orca wins map 2. We do go on to map 3 in round 1.
As I said before, like, you don't need to stop the entire team. You just got to stop whoever's carrying that power clam, and that Kraken did exactly that.
I know the only change they made in this particular map combination is the heavy deco. That Kraken was a problem. Legato had to deal with the Kraken. It was just excellent Kraken play from Femi to basically enable several pushes to happen. Yes, the second push with the Kraken, it did build up the space they needed, but the power clamp was just a bit short, so it could have been a lot more devastating that it could have been. But I gotta give credit to Femi from Orca Ballestra, allowing that Kraken to help provide a lot of openings to space and completely displace the rest of Legato from doing anything. It allowed Orca to take home 2 pushes to give themselves enough of a cushion to take home that second map.
And I'll say on top of that, like, just the fact that it is a heavy Splatling is like, Manta Maria lends itself so well to the Splatling class. Like, we saw the ballpoint on the side of Legato for both of these matches, so bringing out the heavy deco to contest that, keep control of the upper race, and just keep map control for the majority of the time, and then, as you said, get that Kraken online and break through their street. Like, we talked about like the choke points of that street, but the flip side, if you can't splat them, there's nowhere for you to run at that point.
Oh, absolutely. We kept seeing basically 3 or 4 members, or even delayed triples and 4 members down on Legato's end. Orca just had a game plan, and Legato was just trying to combat around some of those choke points or even around the street area, but they just kept getting outmaneuvered, and really, that is how Orca took home that second map. Yes, the Kraken enabled a lot of things, but it was just perfect team play from Orca to take home that second one, and I'm really excited to see this third map. Especially here too, because 1, we're going all 3, and 3, it's Umami Ruin splat zones.
Oh, 100%. I think like Rainmaker Museum, you know, it can go either way. You know, like either you're really you feel comfortable on it or you don't. But I feel like with what we've seen from these teams going into zones on Umami Ruins, it's going to be pretty even. Both teams rocking the Splatling. If they choose to stick with the Splatling, it can definitely do some damage. And of course, we saw the aggression coming out from that Stamper of the Zipcaster, and then the follow-up on top of that. It's like they can certainly make them plays. They could definitely go either way.
So, key things I do want to note, because you did call it the Stamper. They didn't really make too many drastic weapon changes between the first and that second map. Maybe just one weapon change. If Legato keeps it the same, your win conditions have to be, especially with that ballpoint Splatling being on point there, along with the other weapons, like the 52 and the Splash. Everything is just back to where it is. And, well, they're going to make a few more tweaks. I think you're about to notice it there, too. A Squiffer by Jade.
Jade going on the Squiffer, and then Soshi going on the NZAP, the great NZAP. Like, we did see that for... Did we see that for Rainmaker? I feel like...
If we did, it wasn't as big of a game changer as it was as we tunneled into that heavy deco. So, hey, speed may be the name of the game, and especially with the Squiffer also available too. That could be huge, especially now they switched. Also, something quickly to note, Femi switched over to the vanilla heavy Splatling, so no longer the deco this time. Didn't need the Kraken, it's just the Wave Breaker allowed, as it looks like both zones are in control by Orca. Orca has most of those zones, at least for now.
Here comes the big bubbler as well. Combine that with a Wave Breaker, that's going to be 3 points for Orca Ballestra. Like, Legato doesn't have any specials online to combat that. And the Squiffer doing some damage. Shut down, I think that was the ballpoint going into Inkjet. There would be no more Inkjet for them.
Yeah, that's the Inkjet denied there as well, just not helping any favors. And now you're down 47 points, taking down here from Orcas and Legato, just needs to find their opening, find a key pick, but Tiflo going down. You take out the Squiffer, at least some of the range is gone. The heavy Splatling drops as well, delayed double, but more importantly, the range is mostly gone. This should hopefully allow Legato to take both of those zones and try to pressure out Orca, which they do.
But Orca Ballestra is doing an excellent job of stalling them out. They're not letting them get in both zones. And that is going to be 3 down off of Legato. They did add a little bit of penalty to there, but even with the brush taking control of that ridge, or that upper plat, which is pretty key for getting that control, Orca Ballestra once again would not back down enough for Legato to get a good foothold.
Oh, for sure. Oh, definitely. Like, Legato didn't really get that many points either. Orca just, they did lose 2 with some of the range going down. As soon as I say they lose 2 again. Delayed triple especially. But where's the other zone? It's a delayed wipe there, and Legato turning the delayed wipe to now control. They have to now take full control of Orca's territory, hopefully to get even more points down. The pressure has to be in play, but you also have to respect the Stamper still, even with the nerves. That Stamper can play huge, but as soon as I note the Stamper drops.
Oh, there's going to be 2 down off of Orca Ballestra. Like, this is going to be the first complete turnaround we've seen since that first game for Legato. Like, we see the 52 trying to go in and make some plays. It just doesn't quite work out, but still, they completely flip the control of the map right now. So much pink paint out there. The Crab on mid, but they're going to have to contend with the Stamper. Their Orca Ballestra is coming back in with just a point remaining until that lead.
Yeah, they do get the lead. Legato just holds on, and again, some key finds, which basically enables that push to keep going. And this just now turned into a brawl, but more importantly, Legato has lead with 2 minutes left to go, and at least it gives them the cushion to work with. But Orca, they just need to go back to what has worked for them. You got to take full advantage of that range. You got to enable that Squiffer and the heavy spotting to do work. The splash, the brush drops as well. Orca should be able to get both these zones here with 2 members dropping, and they do.
Yeah, all they needed was just the one opening to start turning around, but they lose 2 of the members in the process. Legato, 3 members down. Legato is just going to be moving right back into the zone area, taking down the 4th member in a delayed wipe, and we're back to pink on the map.
Yeah, Legato taking on that delayed wipeout, and now Legato now understands. Hey, we gotta keep providing that pressure. Orca has done that to us in the previous map and the initial start. Now we gotta see if we can do it to them. You gotta note the Stamper. That Stamper just juiced the Zipcaster, but the Stamper is shut down, and the ends up 85 drops. It's 2. Make that delayed triple, a delayed wipe. Legato takes full control, and they're out on the penalty points.
Yeah, they're taking away their penalty points. They're down to 20 regular points, but like, look at this brush. Hermit doing some damage, keeping them distracted. They are not going to be able to get to the zone in time, let alone cap both of them before they can run out of time.
Yeah, they ran out of time, and this was almost a game of momentum, really, from both these teams. Orca just came out swinging on that first initial push, and then when Legato took out two members, both the heavy spotling, the Squiffer from Jade as well, Femi and Jade going down at that inopportune moment pretty much set the pace for Legato, and they took it all the way home. Orca did have a few opportunities to swing it back, but Legato just took it, just ran with it with several delayed wipes, and Legato wins the set 2-1.
Indeed, GG's. You know, looking at that last match, it reminds me of what we saw with Jelly Squid versus Secret Elixir. You know, like with that comp swap for Orca Ballestra with the Squiffer and the Vanilla Heavy, they were well equipped for a good lockout. It is kind of what you want to see for zones, but it didn't lend itself as much for breaking back in. Though when they had the Kraken on clams, they were able to put on so much aggression, create so many openings. It wasn't just the Stamper and the Zipcaster making plays. We saw the Kraken coming out from the Heavy, able to go up the street and just open things up. But without that, it was just the Zipcaster and the Stamper trying to make some moves, and they were just outnumbered out there.
I mean, you called it out too, and especially with our callback to Jelly Squid versus Secret Elixir. The aggression was the name of the game for Legato, and we did note from maps 1 to 2, the only change was the heavy deco. Kraken really did lend itself well to that map combination. Didn't think it didn't work out too well for that 3rd map, and I get the reasoning behind the change. It just didn't work out. Legato understood that, okay, now they got 2 ranges, they can't play as aggressive, so let's see if we can be even more aggressive than them. It took a little bit of time for Legato to get there, but they took it home in that 3rd map.
They did indeed, and once again, that is going to be Legato moving on in the Great White bracket. Looks like they are going to be taking on, I missed, but we'll be going to Decay versus Squid Strikes in our next matchup, but unfortunately, that is going to be it for Kyon, and I will be handing off to another set of commentators. So before that, where can the good people find you, my friend?
You can find me on Twitch or Twitter, Kyon2570. The name's the same for both of them. You can find me posting some insane stuff on Twitter, mainly just the normal like tech and Splatoon stuff and all whatnot. And Twitch, I do Splatoon, but I also do other video games there too. So smash that follow button if you want to find me. But where can the good people find you?
Well, you can find me in all the usual places, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at IMetaGamerII. I am also into the Splatoon content. As I mentioned before, I am quite enamored with the heavy deco right now, so definitely going to be seeing a lot of that. Also want to do a quick shout out to our streamer Boyne, coming back from a hiatus. Love to see them back on production. Did an excellent work tonight and will continue to do so. But for now, we will be handing it off to Shader and Shaz, our next set of commentators. We will be back in just a moment.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Swim or Sink Top 8. I'm Shaz, joined by Cater, and it is going to be fun. We had a fantastic set last match, and hopefully we're going to continue on. We've got Decay versus Squid and Ztrikes, which
Hello,
we'll
that is
probably
me.
trip over.
I am Cater, yes. Squids strikes with a Z. Very easy to say. Yep.
Almost as much fun as Iris wristwatches.
Oh, no, don't take me through that vocal warm-up again. Oh, man. Bring back memories.
Oh, it brings back so many fond memories. So both teams, obviously, they won their last matches. Decay got a 3-0 over, looks like Acropora. And then Squid Strikes went 2-1 over Captain Happy Crew.
Captain Happy Crew, yes.
Yes. I'll be honest, Cater. I should know people on these teams because I've seen them play before. I don't recognize anybody here.
I wish I did, but I think we are both in for a little bit of surprise here. I also do not quite recognize them. Well, we can look at the maps that we've got for this set coming up here. We've got Tower Control Mako, which is what we're going to start off with. Mako, of course, bread and butter of the Splatoon community. Not really much to say about it. I mean, we know all weapons, most weapons anyways, do relatively well here.
Yeah, the less we say about the GooTubers, the better.
You don't have to bring up the GooTubers.
Oh, yeah, always got to bring up the GooTubers. But it is going to be interesting to see how it plays now that we have a couple more options for missiles, because missiles were pretty good on this stage back in S2. So I don't think we'll see anybody running double missile. Still, we don't see anybody running any missiles, so we don't have to worry about it. I do see an E-leader on the side of Squid Strikes.
Yeah, Squid Strikes
definitely a strong pick on this map. The range lets you reach all the way to the enemy snipe. Double machine buckets are going to be great here, and the brush is very good for poking at enemies. Meanwhile, we see looks like double zip cast on the side of Decay, who are quickly going 2 down. Looks like the brush got a nice flank off.
Yeah, 2 down, both 3 down now on the side of Decay. That is a full wipeout, and of course that means that Squid Strikes is going to be able to take the tower. We have a lot of bloodshed on the beginning. You can see the ink brush there is trying to do a little bit of ledge camping, and already the first checkpoint has fallen, generally to what tends to happen, but now we have a fight for the second checkpoint. Or not quite the second checkpoint, about halfway there. And with the leader as well as the brush on the side of Squid Strikes going down, they are forced to back off, but they did have that Booyah Bomb, which is going to let them maintain a little bit more control in mid. You can see their members are back, and nice pick from the Octobrush there. They're maintaining a really nice position. They're trying to get another pick, but not quite going to make it, unfortunately.
Yeah, the crossfire from those machines is going to cause a lot of problems. It's 2 down on each side. If he'll make that 3 down on the side of Decay, it's a slightly delayed triple. Delayed quad now. Very, very useful. Junkie is still causing problems for him, though, so Squid Strikes isn't going to be able to capitalize off of that and move up. They're definitely moving a little bit slower because of that E-leader, whereas Decay, has a very fast comp. It's got the Tetras, it's got the brush, it's got the splash. They're just going to be moving so much faster.
Yeah, but the leader is still putting in a good amount of work. We saw a really nice snipe there, and looking for some more picks. They've got their teammates to back them up here as well. Always great to protect that anchor player on your side. And Squid Strikes is going to continue to take that tower, bring it up to where they had it last, and try and further their lead. They want to get to that second checkpoint. Of course, we all know how difficult it is, but unfortunately, with 3 of their members going down and the leader the leader having to retreat, they're not going to be able to quite make it there. We also have a lot of specials online, 2 of them online for Decay, and so they're likely going to be using those once Squid Strikes comes back in.
Yeah, 1 member of Decay does go down, but Wumi's going to come in with those ink strikes to really see if they can get somebody. Does not manage to find any both. 3 down for Decay.
That sloshing machine wearing respawn Punisher? Oh my goodness. Well, I guess they're really confident in their skills, and it's working out for them as well. We've seen them get a lot of picks, and they are moving up with the rest of the team here in mid. We have one of the Booyah Bombs that's going to be immediately thrown as soon as it's at the ready. You can see how it pushes back the Octobrush, not allowing them to come up with the rest of their team. And again, Squid Strikes is going to make another push for that second checkpoint. They lose their brush a little bit early on, though, and you can see the machines have to fall back in mid, so they're not quite going to be able to make it there. We have the ink strikes coming out, a little bit over 2 minutes left in this match, as that tower again is just going to slowly reset back to mid.
E-Leader's going to set down Wavebreaker on that left stack. Really helps out with any flanks. Nobody on Decay was in a good position to flank right down there. Tetras was respawning. Their brush is dead. And they can see that Woomy is right over on the left-hand side and quickly falls to someone.
Ooh.
The 3 down on the side of Decay looks like maybe a splat bomb or a suction bomb got that one.
Looks like almost a bomb double. I'm not sure if it was, but yeah, that really unfortunate. And actually, that opens up the lane wide for Decay to make their first really big push. The E-Leader getting caught out from behind here, and so Decay is going to be able to take that first checkpoint. That position is going to be really important. We have the Zipcaster coming out as well. A lot of aggression. The Tetras do go down. We have the Killer Whale coming out as well, but the Nautilus has that Ink Storm, so all of the specials are getting thrown out here. That is the lead for Decay. The Booyah Bomb goes off from one of those machines, but this Nautilus gets another pick and another, and looking for that third on the machine. Not quite going to get it, but they're still able to maintain this position, this presence on the tower, which is really important because that allows for jumps for the rest of their teammates. Another Zipcasters are going to go off. Unfortunately, they do get taken down, but that lead by 3 points with so little time left in the game is really, really important.
Yeah, especially considering how much faster Decay can move, and this push is still technically going. The tower hasn't reset all the way back to mid. As long as they keep at this pressure for another 30 seconds, it's going to be really hard for Ztrikes to get back in. The machine tries to make hero play right there, doesn't quite manage to get either of the members. Poyo is going to come in now, manages to get the Octave Rush, but Woomy has jumped in, and that's going to be a hard fight for the Brush to take. The Tetras can outspace it quite easily. Poyo's going to retreat, manages to get the flanking Nautilus, who has been doing a lot of damage on the side of Decay.
Yeah, this Ink Brush running around here is a nuisance. We have 5 seconds left for Ztrikes. They got this tower. They need to make this last push happen. Right now they have the leader on the tower. They have the Booyah Bomb. The Zipcaster is going to come out and gun directly for the tower, though. And that is Decay taking the tower and the first match of this set. My goodness.
Ztrikes had a really nice push setup. The Brush, right before we transitioned back over to the overhead shot, you saw that the Brush went around to the left-hand side of the snipe. They actually get the splash that was sharking there. And a sharking splash that close to the tower, you really don't want to see that. Not if you're on the team that's trying to get the overtime push. No, and they had another member down, but just the fact that the Ink Strike forced the members of Ztrikes off of the tower, and then Tetras on the Zipcast was just able to zip straight over the tower and touch it. That's just enough to get them to win.
Yeah, I mean, again, those overtime pushes sometimes really difficult to put together, and something as small as that can end them. But like you said, it was a really good setup, and both of those teams showed a lot of good fight in that match. For our second match, we'll be moving to Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway, which is... that's definitely a map mode combination.
It's a map.
It's, might I say, not necessarily a favorable map.
No, it's gonna be interesting. So obviously, Decay had the Tetras last map. I don't know how well Tetras are gonna play here. So map geometry is a little bit funky, to say the least.
Yeah, both of those teams also had the brushes too, and I definitely understand bringing those out Mako. I do wonder if they'll come back. We saw like good moments from both of the brushes, but like, it's like, are they confident if they want to bring out the brush here on Rainmaker Undertow?
At the same time, though, you really aren't going to expect to see an E-Leader. I mean, E-Leader, yes, it's a strong weapon on certain map and modes, but on Rainmaker, you want to be moving super, super fast.
I think the key phrase there is certain maps and modes. And yeah, we did see the, you were pointing out the speed difference between these two teams. The E-Leader, as strong as it is, as much space control as it gives you, it also does slow you down with its positions being a little bit less mobile. So if you want to be moving fast, you might have to drop the anchor. We'll see what these teams have opted for as we get into the match here.
Or even just move to a faster anchor, the heavy deco,
that's true too, that's true.
The ball points.
Right, and we keep in the Nautilus.
Yeah, we have a ball point.
Yeah, good call there.
So we have ballpoint, and then the new, it looks like the Inaki Nova shot, which of course has the mines and the inkjet, and the paintbrush, which is promptly dead to...
Unfortunately.
Yeah, promptly dead to the shield it goes. It looks like one down on the side of Decay as well, so I don't know if Decay's really going to capitalize off of Decay's.
Can I say they're putting the pain in paintbrush?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got the specials coming out. We got the Reef Slider, we got the Inkjet, and it looks like Decay is going to be the first to pick up the Rainmaker here. They are promptly taken out. Right now, it's mainly just the firefight for mid. We have the Rain going off as well. One down on both sides, and that Rainmaker is going to be promptly taken back to mid. You can see the Nautilus here, I think, is a really good pick here just because of how much mobility it has, how much damage it can do. We did see how well it was played the last match, too, so I think it was a smart choice to keep that.
Yeah, we see that 2 down on the side of Squidstrikes, and that's a delayed triple there, so of course they're going to take longer to respawn. Poyo's going to pop down to at wave break, see if they can force people to back off. Not able to find anyone, gonna get flushed out by those ink strikes. Really forced retreat. Manages to stay alive, but I mean, they know he's there. And there he goes. Why did the chick cross the road to get to the other side? Well,
yeah, well, with that wipe,
the rest of the time got to the rest of the other side.
Yeah, with that wipe, that means the checkpoint is going to be taken, and Decay is just going to pick that up again and continue on their merry way. The members of Squid Strikes have respawned our meeting, then there's Poyo there again, unfortunately gets taken out. They do get the trade, though, and so now this Rainmaker is alone for just a little bit. They have the Nautilus, though, and we're almost to the goal! That's a Rainmaker moment, everybody.
Really crucial pick there from the Brush on the side of Decay, getting to trade with Squid Strike's Paintbrush.
Absolutely.
Because if they hadn't gotten that trade there, it would have done just enough damage for the Rainmaker to get taken out by that jet shot.
Yeah, the combination of just, body blocking the shots with yourself and then the Nautilus providing the paint so that the Rainmaker didn't have to pause for too long. They just straight shot to the goal, and that was that.
Yeah, that Nautilus especially is going to be one to watch out for. I think if Nautilus gets what's considered a decent kit for the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I know that some people complain a lot about the synergy between the sub and the special on the current Nautilus, but I think Decay is certainly making it work, so it's going to be really interesting to see what they could do with, say, an Inkjet Nautilus.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that, that is going to do it for our set since we're best of 3. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back with top 4, so do stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Swim or Sink. We are coming at you with Top 4. If you're just joining us, I'm Cater, and I'm joined here today by Shads.
I am excited for this one.
Yes, indeed. We've got Legato versus Shadow Wizard Money Gang. And Shads, you were just telling me about how you know some of the people on Shadow Wizard Money Gang, yes?
Yeah, so Shallow on Shadow Wizard Money Gang actually used to be on my team. They play Hydra.
Ooh,
And
I
other
love to
weapons
see a good
too.
Hydra.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they actually will end up playing, because they don't always play Hydra, you know?
Well,
and
yeah, but
then
Hydra's fun.
Looks like 5th Gen is an aggressive player, usually plays fast weapons, brush, wiper. Meanwhile, we have seen Legato already on stream. Very strong team. I like them too. One of my old teammates used to be on Legato, and I'm friends with a couple people on there. So I'm very glad that I'm a neutral commentator, and I'm not sitting there debating on who to bet channel points on.
Well, you know, as commentators, we are always neutral and unbiased, definitely. I've never been biased in a commentating position before.
I've tried not to be biased.
Oh, yeah, well, it looks like you got friends all around, and that's great. We are looking at our maps right now. First off, we're going to be going to Splat Zone's Flounder Heights. And as much as I love Flounder Heights, I can't say that I love Splat Zones on it very much, personally.
I have opinions on this map.
You have
Some
opinions?
of my teammates
We
would
all have
crucify
opinions
me
on
for those
every map.
opinions.
Well,
Like
we can take
have a relatively similar comp from Legato
Yes.
coming out. We've got a bucket. I don't think they played that in their stream set earlier. Cuvia's got on the ballpoint. They were doing very well. Hermit, of course, very good brush player. Meanwhile, on the side of Shadow Wizard Money Gang, we have Shallow on the ballpoint. We've got new Tetras. They also have some sort of bucket. I believe it's the Trinuvo.
Yes.
And Splash Neo.
Well, we've got Shadow Wizard Money Gang with an early control here. They've got the Ink Strike out as well, and I think just because Legato went a couple down at the beginning of the match. So, but we have the specials coming out on the side from Legato, the Whale, the Inkjet, and that is going to bring them in control.
Yeah, 2 going down, make that 3 down on the side of Shadow Wizard Bunny Gang. Legato is firmly going to get control of the zone. You can see they're painting up that underneath area right between the 2 zones. Very important. You want to hold on to that. And members of Legato moving very quickly into the court area for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Looks like a trade there from the bucket and the ballpoint. Not sure exactly who that would be considered a win for. One member coming in with the Tetras, going to really force Legato to go back to their home zone. Very good distraction there, and that lets the members of Shadow Wizard Money Gang push up into their zone. 5th Gen's going to see if they can pull something off, manage to get a member, forces the ballpoint back at least, which is very good. Falls to, looks like a try, but of course, that's kind of what Tetras do. They come in and they die. And 2 down on the side of Legato, so Shadow Wizard Money Gang is going to really come in and push hard on this. Typho down in mid-voe. I'm not sure they see him. Yes, they do. There he goes.
There he goes indeed. We've got another one of those tentacoolers out, and that is going to help them quite a lot. They don't have any more penalty points either. Roomba, they're able, I hope that's Roomba, I'm not entirely sure, able to get a trade there. Very nice. We have the double special combo again coming out, trying to get control of these zones. Does neutralize them, doesn't quite get control. We have another one of the Inkjets coming out, looking for some picks. Those Tetras are down, but so is the brush on the side of Legato. So it's a 3v3 situation with the strikes coming out and just immediately painting that zone. There still are no penalty points on the board for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. They're going to continue to take down that timer. It is getting uncomfortably close to the lead. 2 down on both sides right now, but the continuous presence of Shadow Wizard Money Gang on the zone, especially with the constant tacticalers coming out from the try, means that they're going to be able to take the lead. Oh, and a nice jump down try to get the pick there, but does get splatted by the killer whale, unfortunately.
Try was under the effects of Tacticooler Vote, so that's going to be a really quick respawn.
Yeah, they're going to come right back.
And did manage to get the lead by 2 points. Hermit gets called out by 2 members of the blue team right now, manages to get picked off by Shallow on that ballpoint, as we mentioned earlier. And the zone's quickly going to flip back in favor of Shadow Wizard Money Gang, and they're moving into a really strong position. They managed to pick off Tug on the splash, managed to pick off Typho on the bucket. So they really want to keep this position as much as they can, and they're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, you can see just how much control they have of that area. Now they're forcing the members of Legato to try and come in and different angles, but that means they get separated. We have the killer whale coming out, doesn't quite find anything. That penalty is gone, and now the timer is ticking down again. Legato is running out of time to try and get back in the zones, but they're 2 down, and their last members are alone. The brush able to get a pick, get the zones neutralized to buy them more time, but there's only so much one brush can do on their own. They have the whale, though, 2 down on both sides, and the try coming in. Typhlo is able to get one of their zones back. We have the Inkjet trying to get some picks, but again, the zone is back in the control of Shadow Wizard Money Gang, and the fact that they don't have any penalty, Legato needs to be able to get the zones here.
Yeah, they really, really do. You can see that Uwumba is going to try and come up onto the right-hand side of the zone, but they're getting heavily called out. They managed to get the try on the other team, but the Tetras are down. Hermit's going to climb up into mid, see if he can get that zone neutralized. The ballpoint... Not the ballpoint. Yes, they do have a ballpoint. The ballpoint on Legato is going to launch their Inkjet. 1 down on each side of the team. The zone is still neutral. And those
but now it's
coming
not.
in is going to cap that zone again. 1 down on each side of the team. 2 down on the side of Legato. 2 down on the side of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Hermit is definitely trying to play that zone. Not able to do it. Tug is going to try and keep this one neutralized as much as possible. Not able to outpaint 3 members of Legato, though.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But you gotta admit, it's pretty incredible that a single splash, can almost outpaint 3 members of Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
When the splash is fully focused on painting, paint is what they are going to do. Unfortunately, when you're 1 against 3, there's only so much paint you can output before you run out of ink. But still, they held on for an impressively long amount of time.
Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a pretty back and forth set, because up until probably about the last couple of minutes of the game, like even like the last minute 30 seconds, it was back and forth. Once Shadow Wizard Money Gang got Legato staggered, it got a lot easier for them.
Yeah, the fact that they had so much control over the different avenues that Legato would use to come in forces them to split up and look for alternate ways to get in, but once you get to the middle, you don't have your teammates, it's really, really difficult to get anything done. So
and
I think
then different height, too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Flounder, of course, one of the main things, differences in height, but it's made so much worse when you're backed up in your spawn like that.
Yeah, so now this puts Legato on the hot seat. They have to win tower control if they want to get a chance to move on to Grands. And of course, you know that they definitely want to. I mean, Who doesn't?
Oh, no. Well, it looks like we won't get a chance to move on to Grands just yet. We've been kicked out.
$20 a year. Just saying. Old memes aside, but we get to talk more about Sturgeon Shipyard.
Yeah,
what's going to be good here?
It's a great question. I do wonder whether we'll see the ballpoints again, because, or ballpoint singular, I guess, and it has been working for them. I think it would work here as well.
This one's a toss-up. I mean, I could totally see Shallow swapping over to Hydra. I could totally see them staying ballpoint because it would probably work a little bit better with the Tetras, just purely based on the fact that Hydra's, like the E-Leader that we saw last set, very slow-moving weapon.
I mean, also, it being tower control, you will want to be able to change your positions very quickly, or at least more quickly than something like Splat Zones would be. So I do think it might be a better choice to stay on the ballpoint here. Again, though, Hydra does... It's not like it wouldn't work.
Yeah, and Hydra can be very powerful on this map. I mean, how many times have we seen Debbie absolutely kick butt?
So I guess it's like, do you want the power or do you want the speed?
Yeah. Other than that, though, because we can't just talk about backlines as much as I would love to just talk about backlines.
I would also love to talk about backlines. Do we have the self-control not to do that?
Well, I think we do. The Tetras that we saw last game definitely will work very well here. Tries going to be great, especially in mid, considering you have all the height differences. You have the spinners that you can climb up on. Splash is always going to be good. Let's be real. I think the only thing Nintendo could do at this point to make it not good is take it out of the game, and I don't think that's going to happen. I'm very sorry to be the bearer of that bad news.
If we all boycott Splash-O-Matic, do you think we could get something done about that? I jest. But yeah, Splash, I mean, paint output, lovely kits. What's not to love about the Splash-O-Matic? Yeah, it'll work. You bring it out, it'll work on the map mode.
Hermit's probably going to stay on that brush. I'm pretty sure Hermit is a brush one trick. So it's going to be interesting to see, are they going to stick with the ink brush though? Maybe they go for the paintbrush. If they really want to prioritize damage over speed, they could go for the Octobrush. There are some really nice Zipcaster spots on this map. An Octobrush could work out pretty well here.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Someone in the chat suggests that they should use Gold Dynamo.
That does give you a lot of power.
If you have no morals and a total willing to brick your system and never be able to play online again, and the ability to hack the weapon into the game, you too can play Gold Dynamo. But we here at IPL do not recommend you do any of that.
Wow, that sounds exactly like me. I can't wait to play Gold Dynamo in my next Splatoon 3 for the Nintendo Switch match.
Yep. We'll get Gold Dynamo when Splatoon 4 gets announced.
Oh my god. Please bring back Gold Dynamo. It's such a pretty weapon.
It's gotta be coming soon. Although speaking of Dynamo, would be interesting to see a Dynamo here. You get the Dynamo up on the spinner, it's gonna deal a decent amount of damage to mid, assuming you can get around the wonky hitbox.
Yeah, I was gonna say also you have to get the Dynamo up there first, and that can be a hassle in itself.
Hey, high risk, high reward. But
can you imagine what it's
do a decent amount of damage on this map?
That's true. Can you imagine what it's like having to lug around a Dynamo and swing it every second of every match?
It's like the opposite of never missing leg day. You never miss arm day.
All right,
here we go. Hermit has stayed on the brush. We do see that one member of Legato has swapped over to the Gal. Doesn't? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be the try. Meanwhile, on the side of Shadow Wizard Money Gang, similar comp as last time. I don't think they had the Splash Neo, did they?
I cannot recall, but hey, we were saying Splash is going to be good, and so Splash Neo, definitely a very fair pick, going to keep up with the try, the Tetras, and already we have 2 down on the side of Legato. Shadow Wizard Money Gang going to be, we have the Tetras doing some funny work back here, not quite able to get the pick, but does the distraction, and like you said, Tetras run in and die, that is their job, and we have the Inkjet coming out also from Shadow Wizard Money Gang, passing checkpoint 1, and having the Ztrikes come out as well. Unfortunately, the Neo is going to be the only one left, and they do go down, so that is a delayed wipe on the side, on their side, meaning that Legato is going to use this opportunity to take back a bunch of mid control, and they have those specials online as well. So yeah, we see the killer whale coming out immediately.
Oh,
and that
great
is,
pick on the crab there.
Yes, very, very nice. 2 down again on the side of Legato, though. Those Ink Strikes coming out, absolutely swallowing the tower. And Uvumba able to clean up another member of Legato there.
Yeah, honestly, such a crucial pick on the crab there from Uvumba. Because that's one of the
Zipcaster.
Ooh, here comes the Zipcaster. Looks like they're going after Hermit, not able to find anyone, and jump straight back to the Tacticore to able to grab that right away. Excellent Tacticore placement right there. Anybody who plays Try, take notes. Shadow Wizard Money Gangs had great tower control Tacticore placements this set.
Yeah, I bet their tower control placements are good too, because the tower follows, a set path and can't deviate from that. That was funnier in my head. Anyways, we have 3 down on the side of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. That means Legato's going to be able to come back, try to get that last pick. Oh, there we go. They are finished off. And so Legato again has to come back. Ooh, 3 down on their side, 2 down on Shadow Wizard. That is a lot of bloodshed on the field right now. Both of these teams are dancing around the tower trying to get on it, but that is Shadow Wizard Money Gang coming on top with the majority of mid control here.
Yeah, Tug is gonna pop that crab bow. There's a flank bow that they're gonna have to turn around and deal with. The Zipcast comes out, not able to find anyone, gets picked off, and then Uvumba jumping straight on top of the crab gets splatted by the ball form. So 3 down on the side of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. You can see that the gal is in the left-hand corner. Her trying to pick off somebody, manages to trade with the try. After that, her Shadow came in and cleaned up behind the try. Here comes the Inkjet from Legato, manages to find one member. Brush comes in and gets a second, and the Brush is in a really good position. They're way behind the members of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. So
that's
going to
3
flip
down.
in favor of Legato, and they're going to push way up into the enemy spawn. They're going to go for some spawn camping, it looks like.
Yeah, well, spawn camping, it works, and we got the Killer Whale coming out. Another 3 down on the side of Shadow Wizard. This looks like it's going to be a straight KO for Legato.
Yep, the classic snowball. Once you get past that second checkpoint on this map, it is over super quick.
Well, that's what Sturgeon Shipyard is. That's what it was like in the second game, and that's what it's like now. We all know
Would it really be Sturgeon without the snowball, though? Would it really be the Sturgeon we all know and love without the snowballing tower control?
Love is a strong word for my feelings about Sturgeon Shipyard.
Well, regardless, now we have it down to Rainmaker Museum de Alfonsino.
Yes, we do. Our set being 1-1. I think you were talking about that crab pick, but also the crab that kind of got almost entirely canceled. Not really canceled, distracted by the flank, but also did manage to get picks, work with the rest of their team. I think the crab placement in that last match was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some great positioning from the crab. Not sure completely how well it worked out for them. I mean, they did win, so obviously that last crab could have easily gone in favor of not actually Legato, who had the crab, because the Tetris was right behind him, and if the members of Legato hadn't come to Tug's aid, it would have been pretty bad. But then Tug got that really sweet double, grabbing one and then managing to get the splat on the try in ball form, which opened up the push for them to get the win.
So it's kind of like, it could have gone badly, but circumstance ended
one
up
way, half dozen another. One worked out really well, and one worked out not really well.
Well,
So
we're gonna get right
down to this.
It does indeed. We're going to get right into Rainmaker on Museum de Alfonsino. Take a look at our comps here. Yeah, relatively similar to what we've seen before.
No changes.
Yep. Yeah, I think it is no change. Did we had the Vanilla Splash on Legato before?
Yes, because it was crab.
Okay. Yes. Yes, crab indeed. I remember. I definitely remember. And we have, the Tetra's going down, of course. Again, the Tetra job. The Killer Whale coming out. And, was that a jump? I think that was a jump from
with a jump out. Looks like a man.
Ooh, Rainmaker pick.
To get the ball point. 2 down bow. All sides of that. Expect first checkpoint falling very quickly in Legato's favor. Boom is not able to get the pick on the 2 members of the ball point. 5th Gen is going to jump in as well. Did manage to get the drink from the Tacticooler though, so they're going to respawn relatively quickly. The 3 members of Legato grouped up on the left. They don't have any specials though. And that Ink Strike is going to delay them severely.
Yeah, they didn't have special, they didn't have space. Now they have the Killer Whale, but the Inkjet from Shallow is going to make this really, really difficult for them, as well as the bombs that are coming out there. Oh, they lose 3 of their members, and so this gal is going to have to back up pretty far as they wait for their teammates. Meanwhile, Shadow Wizard Money Gang going to regroup. They have 2 of the specials, and one of them is going to come out here, and you can also see the Killer Whale you can see the Killer Whale there. There's the Zipcaster all the way in the back from 5th Gen, just doing some distraction work. Does get picked off, unfortunately, but we have these strikes as well. That's going to provide a lot of room. Shallow, though, does get taken out before they are able to make it to the checkpoint. Yes.
Hermit with the clutch flank right there. And Luna is stuck in the corner, probably going to jump out, it looks like. Yeah, forces Kuvia to waste that Inkjet foe on them. And then 5th Gen is doing what Tetris do and flanking. Typho's gotta watch out, manages to find one, fighting the ballpoint bow, not the weapon you want to be fighting at that range.
Yeah,
and Kuvia's gonna pick up that Rainmaker again. Uvuma's gonna come in with reckless abandon, knowing that they're gonna respawn instantly as soon as they die.
I think reckless abandon is the motto of the Tri-Slosher.
So far, though, very solidly in Legato's favor. 42 isn't what most people consider a safe lead on this map. But it's also nothing to sneeze at.
Yes, and with the way this match has been going, the 42 is a pretty good lead for them. With the Gal down on the side of Legato, Shadow Wizard Money Gang is going to take the Rainmaker. You can see 5th Gens there popped the Zipcaster. We have the Ink Strikes coming in as well. That is 2 down on the side of Legato, 3 down on the side of Legato. And so Shadow Wizard Money Gang is going to be able to break that checkpoint. Immediately picks up the Raymare. Oh, they lose a member, but Legato loses 2. They do get the lead at the cost of a full wipeout, but they do get it all the way to 34. Now they'll be coming back. You can already see the members of Legato pushed up so far. And now they've got their member on the Rainmaker. Very nice Inkjet pick right there, and 3 down the side of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Legato might be able to get the lead back for themselves here. Yes, they are able. And oh my goodness, 3 down one side, 2 down on the other. Technically, this push isn't over because the ball point is still here, but I think they will back up out of that.
Nah, ball point's back in mid. That push is over. Ball point on the other team is going to pick up the Rainmaker. Smart move. Always want that backline carry to anchor. Trying to see, it looks like the ball point's going to probably end up jumping or dying.
Ooh. Yeah,
Somehow
the 2
they're
outcomes.
still alive.
They did not do either. They are very... now they're down, unfortunately. Oh, they survived in a good long time, though, and then the try did get taken out. That's 2 down on the side of Shadow Wizard Money Gang, 3 down now. That Rainmaker's just going to sit in mid, and the members of Legato are going to make their presence known around it. Tetris down now. Everybody's back on the field. Killer Whale's going to come out from that Ink Brush again. We have the strikes at the ready. That's going to be a super important special. Especially now that Legato has picked up the Rainmaker. They lost the try. The strikes here are again going to be used to clear out this top space. Doesn't quite get the Rainmaker, does force them back though, but Shadow Wizard Money Gang needs to pick this up because they don't have very much time left. They've got 2 down. The Inkjet is preventing Luna from approaching this Rainmaker. They're just looking for an opening right now.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for the tactical, so that way in case somebody comes around the corner, just like Hermit's going to. 5th Gen manages to get the Rainmaker. No, manages to get the Gal, sacrifices himself for the Rainmaker. Smart play. Hermit is really doing a good job guarding that right-hand side. Inkjet coming out now, not managing to find anyone. Here come the strikes. 1 down on the side of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. There's 1 member in mid, 2 down. Looks like 1 member managed to sneak around to the right. Hermit's gonna ledge camp that ball point. Dies to the shield. So this is do or die now for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. They managed to get the Shark and Gal, but they have to get it all the way down to 27. And
27.
that is nothing to sneeze at because that's going to be past that choke point. And I don't think they know that Tug is right there. No, they do not.
Yeah. Really nice play at the end there from Tug. I think, but like, you could also see them setting up
to
for
the
that push.
wire.
Yeah, those strikes going out to provide space to clear out people that might have been there. Really nice play, but unfortunately when you have somebody on top of you, planning ahead is not... You might not be able to reach those plans. Very nice game on both sides, though.
Hermit and Tug getting the fist bump.
Very well-deserved fist bump from the plays that we saw from them.
Yeah, I mean, it would be so hard to tell whether or not that would have been a winning push from Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Yeah.
The hard part getting past 28 is because it's past that choke point caused by the inflatables. There's no real easy way to get past that unless you've got 2-3 people on the other team down. And by the time that Shadow Wizard Money Gang would have gotten to that point on the map, assuming that Tug wasn't there, of course, the members of Legato were going to be there. They would have respawned. They would have had the high ground. It would have been really difficult for them to push. But
yeah,
I mean, they're tied for third right now. We'll see who ends up. If there's a third place match, we'll see who ends up winning that.
Yeah, I mean,
And
even
still, nothing to sneeze at. It was a great set from both teams.
Even with the pushes that we were seeing through that checkpoint, it was kind of hectic. They were basically just diving through and getting as many points as they could. So like you said, that choke point does make it really difficult.
So here we go. Grand Finals. Decay has won their set against SpongeBob. So we'll start off Clan Blitz Manta Maria. Then we're going to do, looks like, Splat Zone's Hagglefish, Tower Control Mako. Not sure what the other 2 are. They haven't shown up yet.
Yeah, best of 5, so this will be a fun set. Both of those semi sets did go 2-1, so both of those teams had good sets. And now we will be seeing our beloved Decay and Legato fight it out. Now you can see the full range of maps. We're going to be starting off Clam Blitz on Manta Maria. Or Manta, depending on how you say it.
It's Manta.
Okay, well.
But that's just my New York stuff speaking.
I think I tend to say Manta for some reason, even though I like the way Manta sounds more.
See, the real debate is how do you pronounce Mako? Is it Mako or is it Mako?
Mako. I think either way works, but I prefer Mako.
Yeah, because see, for some people, they say Mako because it's closer to how the Japanese pronounce the shark. But some people say Mako because that's how the English pronounce the shark.
As somebody whose first language is English and is learning Japanese, I say Mako because my first language is English. But I think it's fair to use the Japanese pronunciation if you would like. Either way, the A's aren't really pronounced the same. So, Mako and Mart.
Yeah.
Well, Mako's not even in this set, so why are we talking about it?
It is in the set. Tower control.
Is it? Like, I have no eyes. I'm so used to the purple and yellow from Splatoon 2 that every time I look at the map thumbnails, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not Mako. That's a different map. And then I realize it is Mako, and I have a little existential crisis. Man, map thumbnails.
I don't know if I can help you with an existential crisis.
It's okay. I'll get through it.
You by talking about Clam Blitz on Manta Maria.
Oh, joy.
So, new stage, new from Sizzle Season.
Well,
people definitely seem to like the idea, how the changes have been made on it. I've known, like, a lot of people that I talk to are very happy, especially with Clam Blitz, how much they've opened up the area by the basket.
Yeah, that area into really small, really cramped. So I'm glad to see, some nice changes. Making this more palatable map.
Question is, will we see anybody paint the boats? Because apparently you can actually paint the lifeboats in your spawn.
Really?
Yes, you can.
If someone on stream wants to try that out, I would love to see a little bit of boat painting action, but I understand if they don't want to do it. We'll take a look at our comps here. We got the ballpoints, we got the Nautilus that we saw earlier from Decay, as well as their Tetras, their Octo Brush. So there's pretty classic comps for both of these teams that we've been seeing. And no, it does not look like anybody will be painting lifeboats for now.
Yeah, we do know that Legato knows how to play around Tetras. I mean, we saw that last set. See how they do against the Octobrush, though. You did play
and speaking of Octobrush, there we go. There's one pick there. Look, I think they got two there. Here's Junkie. Indeed, that was 3 down for a little bit there on the side of Legato. They've come back out strong now, but the ink brush got taken out. See, those splash walls here are going to come in handy in smaller places like this, but Junkie's just going to find another way in. You can see they're holding onto those 7 clams, not quite making the ball yet. They have the zip caster as well. They're going to have to watch out for the brush behind them. They are here. Oh, they get the trade, but unfortunately that does mean they lose all the clams that they had. Meanwhile, back in mid, we've got a bunch of fighting going on. The Inkjet's coming out. Woomy does go down there, and another member forced to back off 2 down on the side of Decay there. Legato trying to use this member advantage, but they also get members taken down, 3 down there for a little bit, and we have the double team on that last member.
Yeah, the Splash and the Tetras doing really good playing off each other. Splash, of course, providing lots of paint for the Tetras, which have a hard time painting for themselves. But despite that, it doesn't look like Decay is really going to be pushing in too hard. They did make a power clam, but they went down almost immediately. 3 down on the side of Decay, so this is really going to be Legato's chance to push up and get more of mid, hopefully. They really ideally want to get the left and right docks on the ship. At least my team calls them decks.
How many people does it take to kill a pair of Tetras? I think at one point, like 3 people were shooting at Woomy, but they did get taken out. We've got the killer whale there, and Legato's got the power clam, so they're all going to go in. Splash getting taken out, Ballpoint taken down as well, though, going to make it a lot more difficult. Nice spawn pick, though. Oh, but Hermit goes down, so I don't think they're going to be able to get that clam. Oh, Typho here on the back does get the pick. So nice work there, but unfortunately not quite able to get the clam, and we are still 100 to 100.
Yeah, but the mid though, very, very orange. This is gonna
Oh,
make
yeah.
it hard for Decay to push in. The Tetra is going down again, and that's why you need to have paint with those Tetras. The Tetras, if they're in a sea of orange, yes, they have better mobility than most weapons in a sea of enemy ink. But the minute that they get run out of 4 dodge rolls, they're gonna have a hard time moving. The strikes are coming out to make some space, hopefully. Here comes the zip cast to really force a couple people out of position. Not able to find anyone, though. Wumi's going to end up going back up to the left. Manages to not find anyone. Hermit goes down. Tugster's going to turn around to see if they can deal with the flanking Tetras. Not able to pick them off quite yet, and Junkie comes in to clean up behind them.
Yeah, that was another 3 down, so unfortunately that also didn't go anywhere. We have the point sensor, the Octobrush coming up there. Junkie's able to take Kuvia by surprise and has the 7 clams required though as well. That's 2 down on the side of Legato, so they have a little bit more of an opening to push, and they're gonna need to clear out that area underneath the basket. We mentioned it's a little bit more open, but it's still also slightly closed. Junkie's gonna swim in there. Unfortunately, they do just get taken out. The power clams also gonna do their best to go in, and they are able to get in. And the Nautilus, the only person remaining, holding out for as long as they can so that their teammates can get in. That is our first power clam in at like 1 minute 15 seconds. So with the way this match has been going, you kind of have to watch out for any clam that gets dunked at all.
Yeah, a push to 80, it gives Legato the free power clam, and they built one of their own, currently being held by the ballpoint, who manages to find the pick on the brush that's been causing so many issues. They see that the Tetras are right there. They know that one member is trying to climb up as well. Here come the strikes. That's going to cause a lot of problems for the members of Legato, and they go 2 down. Typho
3 down.
does not manage to realize that they're alone. And Decay manages to force Tugster back, one does fall to Tug. Tug gets a second one.
For retreating,
so very important double there.
Yeah, very, very good, because being able to stay alive and take out 2 members that are after you, incredibly important, especially in the end game just like this. Tug is able to pop that the crab, and we also have the killer whale coming out. They need the picks right now. They do not have very much time to get this power clam in. And with all eight players up on the board right now, we're looking for picks. They have the strikes come out. They do drop the clam. That is 2 down on the side of Legato. Gonna make it so much more difficult for them to push in this overtime. Wumi going to drop down, looking for the pick. Kuvia trying to get something with the inkjet here. Does get Wumi, buying them a little bit more time. They need to somehow clear out this area under basket, but Decay is just sitting there waiting for them to push in. The brush going down, Kuvia going down. I think that might be it. Yes.
Yeah, just such a bloody brawl for the entire 5 minutes.
Valiant effort at the end, unfortunately not quite able to reach that. And we only saw 1 clam dunk that whole match. For all of the
yeah,
I guess ink that was shed. I don't think I can say blood.
it's debatable in canon whether it's ink or blood.
Well, I'll say ink because it is ink.
We're family friendly. In a game about squid kids shooting each other, we're family friendly.
And octopus kids.
And octopus kids.
Yeah. Well, with that brutal match, we are going to go now to Splat Zone's Hagglefish Market. Entirely different, if I do say so myself.
I'll be honest, given how fast the team's comps are, but how stally that game was,
Yeah.
I really don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And Splat Zone, Hagglefish does have a lot of open areas, so of course the Splatlings are going to be eating good because there's less cover for the other team to hide behind, but at the same time, the Tetras don't have to worry about crashing into walls every 2 seconds.
That's true. Yeah. You know, line of sight benefits almost everybody in big open areas like that zone, like the side spaces. You know, you still got the little walls, the little ledges. So, do think we'll be seeing those ball points. Both of these teams relatively solid in their comps, but like you said, really not sure what to expect from these teams. We know both of them are capable of a fast movement, of really nice pushes, and of lockouts or resisting lockouts.
that level of stall that we saw would be something that I would expect on like mid-level Inkblot Art Academy of S2 on Clam Blitz.
Yeah.
Because that was a map that was famous for there only being 1 or 2 clam dunks, maybe. So it's just going to be interesting, especially when you consider that the objective is even more stationary on this mode than it is on Clamplets. Clamplets, I mean, you got to run around like crazy. You got to pick up all the little clams. You got to push into enemy territory.
To be fair, though, like the zone, if it's under control, it will be ticking down. Like
True.
You can't just let it sit there and tick down. You don't have to actively manually put in every single point. So we might see a little bit of a faster game. It just kind of depends on, because again, the way Clam Blitz is might lend it to be a little bit more stally.
Looks like the only change that I can see is that we don't have Neo splashes on the side of the K. We have a regular splash, 2 down on the side of the K. Wumi is going to see if they can get a flank. Nope, Doug's going to poke around from the side and laser fire them.
Yeah, now we've got Legato solidly in control here. The Killer Whale, the Ink Jet, everything. Oh, Jet gets taken down, though. That's 2 down on there. That's 3 down now. And so, of course, Decay is going to immediately take this. We have the Zipcaster as well. Interesting. I'm interested to see how that's going in. And Wumi is able to get a nice pick there on Tug, just taking them out on the side. So now the control is for Decay. And there is the Zipcaster. Wumi's going to use this to get in as close as possible. Gets that 1 assist. And it's just causing mayhem right now. Really nice there. And we have the Inkjet coming out, the Killer Whale coming out. 1 down on both sides. And Hermit's going to try and poke out, test the waters. There are 2 down now. So they're going to be able to charge, go back. Oh.
Delayed white.
Very nice. Well, I guess this isn't really... This isn't really stall anymore, is it? This is just, hey, we have the zone, come and get it.
Absolutely. You can see that the member of Decay that has the Inkjet is going to take to disguise with that, but 2 of their teammates are going to go down. They have a crab ready, so they could use that to try and potentially stall things out, but Nilla is actually looks like a little tied up with Hermit at the moment. They're going to climb up onto the tent, see if they can manage to get somebody out, but here comes the Inkjet that's going to force that down. Wumi's going to come in from the left-hand side. Not able to find anybody, gets jumped by 2, which really is the best way to deal with Tetris. Kubia almost dying to the enemy ball point, manages to stay alive thanks to that drop roll, where now the enemy Inkjet is back in the air. 7-6.
There's the zone neutral. No, it goes back.
4, 1, and 0.
Well, now we know what Legato really likes, and that is when they are not stuck in a lockout.
They like to be the ones doing the lockout, and I don't blame them.
Very nice, very swift zones KO, and now our set is 1-2-1. So that was not stalling at all. Well, as much as you can stall in splat zones.
It's a best of 3 now.
Technically, yes. Yeah, I mean, the comparison of best of 5 to best of 3 is also kind of interesting because, like, when you already have those first 2 games down, you have a little bit more sense of how the enemy plays, You have a little bit different momentum, I guess, in this set. We're gonna go now to tower control on Mako Mart. Hey, we have seen this before, have we not?
Gosh, have we seen this before? I don't know. It's only been in the series for ye old. How many years ago did it get introduced in S2?
Back in my day.
Back in the Stone Age, we played double missiles and double armor, and we liked it.
Back in my day, the thumbnail was purple and yellow, and yeah, we played double missiles, and I don't know if we liked it. Do you like playing double missiles? I don't think I did.
No, I've got jet trauma. But fortunately, we don't have to worry about that. I'm sure that everybody is happier for it.
Thank God for that. Alright, we are going to hop right into it. Back in my day, we used to bring out our splatlings and set up on the stacks, and it was fun, and we enjoyed it.
Well, there are splatlings. We'll see if they set up on the stacks. Probably the K definitely will, because we saw Dabram doing that a lot in their set during against Squid Strikes. Kuvia, of course, going onto the left-hand stack. Junkie and Woomy looking like they're going to try and jump on there as soon as possible.
There's the jump. There's the strikes. Oh, very nice. There you can see how...
manages to get the kill on the Tetras despite running from the strikes. 2 down. Kuvia's going to go for a third. Nope, going to go for the 4th. Now Junkie is all alone in mid, and oh boy, members of Legato want him dead.
Oh
but
my
Junkie
goodness,
yeah. Junkie staying alive for that long, incredibly, and managing to take one with them.
Yeah.
We're going to come in as well, but the bucket is going to pick them off. They do manage to get the ballpoint bow. Very good. You always want to get the anchor down.
Yeah. I mean,
Here comes and Inkjet.
Having that anchor down also means they lose their primary tower rider. The Inkjet is able to get Woomy down there, though they do get camped on their jump. But the members of Legato are just going to come right back. That is 3 down on the side of Decay. Junkie, again, the only one left on the field, quickly joined by Woomy, though. We got the Inkjet again from Legato, giving them control of a lot of area here. Woomy going down again, so is Junkie, so they're losing that aggression. The try is taken out, though, and Tug still somehow managing to dance on that tower. The ballpoint, the only one left. Unfortunately, they do get taken out for the wipeout on Legato, but they got all the way to 33, which is pretty good for this early in the game.
Yeah, really good. Typhal gonna take it out by the brush because of ledge camping. Does have a little bit more range than the ink brush. Can get a little bit farther back, and now it's just enough to get the Slosher down. Here comes the Zipcaster coming into mid as well, into the zone, not the zone, the spawn, sorry. Doesn't manage to find anyone. Looks like maybe the brush traded with the Tetras over to our right a little bit. And things are moving. Oh, here comes a crab perched right up where the paper towels used to be.
They were moving, and now they are not. Kuvia on that Inkjet going to come in. Very nice pick. Like you said, that crab also nicely positioned. And that push is going to stop right at 56. Legato taking back that tower and looking to get another lead. Killer Whale coming out again. You can see all the members of Decay coming in from all different angles. Oh, and that is another quick 3 down on the side of Legato. So Decay, in fact, is going to be able to take that tower. They have the Inkstorm ahead of them. And the Splash Neo also has their special. Unfortunately, they are down the Tetris. But knowing the Tetris, they'll be back very, very soon.
Yep, there's the Tetris. They're back.
They're back. The Octobrush is gone, though. Yeah, Typhal putting in a lot of work here. You can see, even with just the teeny tiny amount of space, making things work. And Woomy's over here a little bit in a corner. Ooh, the nice, not a trade there, but the Nautilus gonna come in and clean up.
Yeah, Dabram going to toss out that rain again, see if they can displace a couple of people. Both sides, of course, do have a utilities sub. Dabram has the point sensor, and then the Try has Toxic Mist, which actually can do a decent amount against those Tetras. But here comes a Zipcaster and 2 down on the side of Legato. Manages to get Hermit.
There's the lead as well.
Manages to get the lead as well. Very, very crucial because this is where it gets very snowbally again. You've seen this before on Sturgeon Shipyard. You get past that checkpoint, and it's really hard to get it stopped.
But they made it stop.
To do. Dabram is all the way back in mid, which is the smart thing to do. Getting it down to 5, that is going to be a tall order. Legato does have 3 specials online. They have the Jet, they have the Crab. They've got all 4 specials now. The Crab has been launched. One of the Inkjet's been launched. Looks like it might be a little Panic Crab from Tug there. Manages to force the brush to jump out. Not the best crab, though. Not really what you want to see when you've got this much ground to cover with only a minute left in the game. 1 down on the side of Legato. Make that 2 down on the side of Legato. Tetras manages to get somebody out, but 2 down now on the side of Decay. Dabram is going to grab the tower, make it start moving backwards a little bit before moving to try and get help with the Inkjet. Woomy manages to get them. Goes down to the brush. One member of Decay has jumped out as well. Now, Nilla is trying to charge up their special, it looks like. Manages to get the strikes out. Not able to find anybody, though.
Yeah, Hermit there is gonna go out, try and find something. Unfortunately, they have Kuvia on the tower riding, but the rain is going to make this a lot more difficult, especially with all of these subs that are getting chucked at the tower right now. We've got 10 seconds left. We have an Inkjet coming out. Try's gonna hop on the tower. Kuvia looking for a pick, doesn't quite find anything. Really unfortunate. The splash is also down. We have overtime now. Hermit's doing everything they can to stay on the tower. Unfortunately, the combination of the Zipcaster and the strike is going to make that very.
Yeah, they really needed to get not just the splashdown, but also the Tetras that had the Zipcaster ready. Because we saw this in the earlier streamed match with Decay on tower controls. They could get to the tower from really far away and manage to bump somebody off of it using that Zipcaster.
It's a good strategy, and if they have that at the ready. GG Zipcaster, definitely fair.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Whatever
so
floats your boat.
Rainmaker, Scorch, Orange, and this is Legato's do or die moment now. They gotta win this game if they want to have a chance of winning the tournament.
Yes, we are match point, I believe, as they say, for Decay 2-1 here.
That's
you
gonna
got
be
thoughts on Rainmaker, Scorch?
Very open map. The Flatlings are going to be very relieved that there's not a charger that's going to be picking them off. Rainmaker, of course, does have the grates that can be used for flanking in. Does lead to one of the checkpoint paths. Rarely gets taken, but the brushes and the Tetras are going to love using that to get behind the members of the enemy team very quickly. I would expect to see the bucket pick stay just because it can be a very good weapon, especially when you're getting to that point where you're trying to push up that final ramp to the checkpoint. You can use it to force people away from the ledges. We might see the Nautilus for speed, but at the same time, the ballpoints kit is probably a little bit better to really force people off those high ledges, especially to the left of spawn.
All right, we got the same comp there, and the Nautilus does make a return.
I mean, Decay does have double Zipcaster, which will be just as effective as the ballpoint. Both teams are making a mad dash for mid. Looks like Legato's going to get there first, but it's going to be Decay who gets the pop, courtesy of slightly faster firing weapons. One down though, quickly on the side. Looks like Legato knew they were not going to get that pop, and we're just going to go straight for murders.
Murders indeed.
Woomy all Rainmaker.
Oh, Woomy using that Zipcaster. Oh, right before they can get the checkpoint and just going to get launched all the way in the back. Very nice use of the Zipcaster. Their Legato's now 2 down. And unfortunately, because they weren't able to get the checkpoint, the splash goes down as well. Hermit, though, still here, manages to get the pick on the Rainmaker before getting taken out by Dream themselves on the Nautilus. We have the Rain as well, so that is going to help them make a push forward. And yes, now the Octobrush, unfortunately, down, but Decay is still going to make everything work here. Killer Whale on the side of Legato, Zipcaster on the side of Decay. Rainmaker does get reset, and now everybody is back in mid.
Yeah, Dabram is in trouble. Looks like Tug manages to take them out, but Tug is in trouble from the Tetras, who quickly finish them off, but Hermit is going to come around behind them. They're going after Kuvia. Manages to get the pick, but somebody came around behind a Rainmaker and managed to pick them off. Looks like maybe it was the Gal, since I don't think Hermit could reach that far. And Hermit's going to go straight into the Tetra's face and slap him a bit.
Yeah, pick after pick after pick here in mid, ending up with Hermit here able to get the pop on the Rainmaker, but you can see the Nautilus is watching it very, very closely, so not able to pick it up just yet. Woomy's going to use that Zipcaster again. They do get taken out. Rain's coming out again. That Rainmaker is going to reset. And now we are back. Legato again in mid. The ballpoint, of course, going to pick that up. 2 down on the side of Legato. No, on Decay, sorry. 3 down on the side of Legato now. We do have the pick on Woomy, though, from Tug. They're able to stay alive just for a little bit longer. Does get taken out.
And that jump is dead in the water. It's important to note, though, 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go. This is the first amount of points that Decay has gotten on the board, and it's not that they haven't had opportunities.
Oh, but they
Hermit's
do.
coming around, manages to not get the brush. That's going to be crucial. And then here comes the Gal, manages to get them despite the RNG. Nilla jumps in, Typho comes into them, manages to get the splat. Wumi's over on the left-hand side, distracting a fair number of Legato. But this is a very precarious situation for them to be in. They want to get past that first checkpoint at the very least. Wumi's going to come around on the left. Hermit manages to trade with them, 2v2 on the field, and of course Tug is tied up with that Rainmaker. And here comes Nilla. They're forced to drop. They don't manage to get anybody, but here comes the Ztrikes pushing them back into that Rainmaker free zone. So that, of course, is going to make the timer tick down even further.
Yeah, they're able to get out of the zone, but they've just been pushed back so far from the checkpoint that they're trying so hard to get to. We have just the amount of specials that are being thrown at them. I'm surprised they're still alive back in the Rainmaker free zone. And you can see how quickly that timer is ticking down. The Octobrush is gone, but with all the fire that's being aimed at them, 2 down indeed. The Nautilus, their biggest threat right now, does get taken out, so they are finally able to make it through that checkpoint against all odds. Though Decay, they're gonna get the pop, and unfortunately, I think Tug is taken down with that. The Rain assisting them. Nautilus also going down, and the Rainmaker. Someone took it out of midair. I didn't see who, but also was immediately taken off. Yes, and now we only have a minute left, and only one of the checkpoints has been broken. Decay really needs to get out there if they want to prevent a Game 5.
Yeah, they're going to have, it looks like Dabram's going to come around on the left-hand side, but Hermit is waiting there for them. 2 down on the side of Decay. Hermit going down. Tuffle falls to the Rainmaker. They've really got to get that ballpoint displaced, but here come the bombs. We're going to see lots of chip damage coming. Zipcaster coming out as well. 1 down on the side. It is going to be down to the wire because we know that the members of Legato cannot get past, and they don't lose the lead. But
it's only the ballpoint.
There. Hermit's got to hit them.
Hermit has to get them, but Hermit gets taken out. Unfortunately, Wumi is still here. The Rainmaker gets picked up, gets taken out again. It is 2v3 on the board right now. You cannot die to the pop right there. Rainmaker gets picked up. Rainmaker gets taken out again. The members of Legato are fighting for their lives right now, and they are still here. Wumi has to drop. The lead was given over. I didn't
was given over.
And now it is up to Legato to traverse the whole map and get over there without the Rainmaker getting taken out. They lose Hermit, unfortunately. And again, they don't have the ballpoint because Kuvia has the Rainmaker. The strikes are going to force them to drop. We have the Whale coming out, but they are forced back into this little corner here. The rain is going to make it so much more difficult, and now Hermit's the only one left because the other 2 have been taken out. Junkie there is going to come with the brush, and that is it.
It is so hard when the game stalls out like that.
Yeah. I mean, we started the set with some incredible stalling, and it looks like we've ended it like that. Wow.
And we didn't even play the classic stall map, Inkblock Art Academy on Clamlet.
We did not, in fact. We got close.
But still, excellent win by Decay, and good job to Legato too. I mean, yeah, the score's 3-1, but those games were a lot closer than that score seems to suggest.
Mm-hmm. That score does not tell the whole story at all. We saw great plays from both of these teams.
Absolutely. And then it looks like the result of our 3rd place match, SpongeBob 3-0 Shadow Wizard Money Gang. So congratulations to them as well. And that is going to cover it for our part of the broadcast. I mean, tournament's done.
Yes, tournament is done. So thank you so much to everybody for coming out and watching. Shads, where can the wonderful people in the audience find you on the internet?
You mean people like me are on the internet?
I can't believe it. You're on the internet right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, when I am not bogged down by summer school, you can find me at ivy_shads_. I try to stream. School says no, but I do try to stream. And then I'm on Twitter at ShadowDragon42. Hater, where can the good people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Cater_, where I talk about the things I cast and I post art. Well, like you said, that does it for us. Congratulations to Decay, and thank you to everybody who came out and watched, came out and played in the tournament. Thank you to our wonderful streamer Boing, and also in the VC Learning to Stream is Pipe Dreams. So these wonderful people are our great staff team. Thank you very much for having me, IPL, and thank you, Shads, for casting with me. It has been a pleasure.
It has been fun. We will see the rest of y'all next week for SOS 112.
Good night, everybody, and stay fresh.
Please, I feel